Yo, 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 and welcome to Crate 808. It's 2020, and we're still here, slacking. I'm not going to lie, we've still got the 2019 album debate on the go. So, today with me, I've got Raymond Ridge, and I've got James Midwinter for our third episode of our 3-episode series, Best Albums of 2019. How you doing, boys? How you doing?
Not bad, thanks, mate.
Boom.
Not bad, thanks. This podcast has got me wetter than whale piss.
Which is quite wet. And who's that snigger in there? Oh, it's Raymond Ridge.
Morning. How goes it?
Morning. All good. Usual 4 a.m. start for Ray for this podcast. The divas that me and James are.
It's just the norm now. It's fine. Who needs sleep? Fuck it. It's overrated.
No one. Clearly not you.
Can you imagine Ray if he hasn't had to wake up at 4? How good he'd be on this podcast.
Unbelievable. I think it wouldn't work. I think he'd be too sensible.
Ray's shit because he's early in the morning.
Ray, well, I'm glad you're here. Boys, to join us and conclude this pretty well-received series of episodes, to be fair, mate. I think people have enjoyed these ones. So today, we've got James's albums coming up. We've had mine. We've had Ray's. Ray, what got in from you? Metropolitan, wasn't it? Sky Zoo.
Yep.
That was named Album of the Year. And from my choices, Bandana, Mad Gibbs. Today, we've got Tyler, the Creator's Igor, which I hold for Ray's response.
There we go. I don't have anything more than that. Carry on.
As usual, we expect. There's more heavy breathing on this podcast from Raymond Ridge than all my 15th year of life over phone sex chat lines. There's more heavy breathing on this podcast than that. And then we've got, I can't wait to talk about this one, Denzel Curry's ZUU. And also, after that, Jambo's bringing Danny Brown. You know what I'm saying. So yes, we get a chat a bit about Danny Brown's new album as well. But before we start any of that chat, I've got to ask you boys, least hip-hop things you've done in the last 24 hours. Raymond Ridge, what you got, man? Come on, step up.
Oh, least hip-hop thing. So just over. Look, I'm in Australia, but I'm in Perth in particular, and it's not very Christmassy over the last couple of weeks because it's like 35 degrees the whole time. It's just
I also thought you were going to say something about the wildfires, the raging. No, instead, Ray's talked about his own selfish needs, which is the weather.
I think
the massive wildfires.
Didn't you know that Ray loves the death of millions of small animals?
Yeah,
that's
actually talk about that. I saw an amazing photo of a kangaroo.
Guys, I'm just going to just for listeners now. You guys carry on talking. Basically, they're just going to talk over me. This is what happens every fucking episode. I start a question, and they both start going off, and they're like, "Oh, I think, what about this?"
I'm doing it to troll you.
I'll just chat to you, listeners. And those guys can just chat their normal fucking nonsense.
Listeners, like there's anyone listening. Ray. Just don't lie to yourself, mate. It's just us three shouting down the bottomless canyon of nothingness. Don't worry about it. Yeah, fun though, isn't it?
It's not bad.
So Ray, go on, mate. I was doing that to troll you, to be fair, mate, because I know you hate me interrupting you. I was trolling you. Least hip-hop thing. What is it then?
It being not Christmassy, I've not done anything for Christmas. So I've got a mate who's away with his missus in Tokyo. So I've been around his house looking after his dog, and his dog's cool, obviously. But cool as he is, look, I've got to walk this dog twice a day. So I'm a responsible dog walker. So I'm always prepared. I've got the poo bags in my pocket, and maybe he'll go twice, but more than once he's been like fucking 4 times a trip.
Yeah, mine does that.
I don't get it. What's wrong? Just get it done
4
in
is
one
a lot.
go.
No, but 4 is a lot. Like, how much does he eat?
More than once, I've run out of fucking bags. So I have to do this thing.
Yeah.
I have to do this thing where I'm looking around like, oh, where are the bags? Where are the bags? But really, what I'm doing is has anyone spotted him? Has anyone spotted him doing this? Can I walk away? Because the awkward thing would be you'd have to address it. You have to go directly to the next walker and be like, he's gone 4 times. I haven't got any bags left. I'm sorry. I haven't got anything. So.
Do you think Snoop Dogg, when he's out there with his fat blunt, walking his dogs, which I think he has many, does he pick up the poo on his own, or does he have someone else pick
He's
it
got
up?
to have a poo picker upper. He's got to have a poo picker up, isn't he?
That's Dad. It's what Dad does now.
Yeah.
That's what To be fair, if anyone's ever watched the Snoop Dogg, where he became Snoop Lion, is
I
it
need
Redemption?
to see this. I need to see
the
it.
documentary. If anyone, I don't know why more people don't talk about this documentary. It's amazing. Daz is the highest person I've ever seen. He's just so stoned in every scene. Yes, it's genuinely very low key, good watch. Okay, Ray. So your least hip hop thing was to clean up shit.
No, the least hip hop thing is picking up poo. Or not picking up poo. Or talking about poo for the last 5 minutes. That would be it.
And calling it poo.
Yeah. Well, that
James,
also...
James, what's your least hip hop thing? Oh, go on. All right.
Before you move on to that, it also brought me to my slept-on Wu banger as well, which... yeah.
So for people that don't know, this is our playlist, most slept-on Wu-Tang bangers, because they've got so much output, especially all their solo careers, and there's always some slept-on tracks, and we ask all our guests and people to just tell us what put on, and we put some on there, and you can listen to it now. Ray, which one's yours?
It's in honor of Slow Tie and Igor, which is this little preview into what I think of Igor. It's on Wu-Tang Forever, Disc 2. Can you guess which one it is? Track 10? Do you remember it?
Severe Punishment, because that's what you've had to endure listening to it.
What? The track called Severe Punishment? No, it's called Dog Shit. It's
There's so much dog shit on this podcast.
There's
in the first.
There's literally a track on. It definitely is a slept on Wu Bang because no one remembers it, and it's it's.
I remember the title, but I can't actually remember how the track goes. I don't even know who's spitting.
Isn't it an old dirty bastard?
It is, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
I do remember that.
But Wu-Tang Forever is an album we need to debate because fucking hell, that is such a good album. Either way, James Midwinter, least hip hop thing. What you got, man?
It's pretty boring actually. Cut this later. My girlfriend got me a really nice Christmas present, which was a book that is 365 days of creativity. You do a creative thing every day. So I just sat with my book drawing. They had pictures of a bowl on one page, loads of little bowls, and you had to fill the bowl, draw stuff and fill the bowls up with stuff. So I did that today.
That's quite a nice little considerate present.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I'm hesitant to rip it out of that because
Master P ain't sitting there.
It's a nice present for your missus.
It's sweet, isn't it? I think it's sweet. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's going to be great for my creativity for sure. It's like creative play.
Yeah, I just can't see Master P doing cretive play.
No, exactly. That's why I
just can't do it.
Master P, after those album covers, no, come on, no, that's what he did.
Those album covers were sick.
It wasn't him who did those, but yeah, I enjoy it.
Do you know who did them? I'll give you points if either of you can tell me what the name of the company that did all those Cash Money.
Mr. Pen and Pixel.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
Pen and Pixel, yeah.
Pen and Pixels, man. I know.
That's
covers?
why you have a 90s hip-hop podcast, and Ray doesn't.
Ray doesn't. Ray's in this one. It's all right. We're all together. So, yeah, man. So my least hip-hop thing, a lot of film watching over Christmas and New Year's, hence the lateness of these podcasts, but fuck it, what are you going to do? I watched Le Mans 66, or as Americans call it, Ford versus Ferrari. There's not one black person in that film at all, and there's not even any semblance of, and that's the most middle class Top Gear daddish I've felt for a long time, is watching a whole 2.5 hour film about race cars.
Is it also not good as well?
Mate, it's brilliant. It's really good. It's exactly what you want from Hollywood films. It's not brilliant. It's just solidly good. It's a solid. He just downgraded it completely. It's quite good. I enjoyed it.
It's quite good.
Christian Bale's great in it. Christian Bale's brilliant in it. And I'd say Matt Damon.
Do you know anything about the mentality behind someone in a room? So wait, the actual title of it is Le Mans 66, but someone said, let's call it Ford versus Ferrari because people like, stuff versus stuff.
I think that's Americans you're thinking of there, my mate. I think they're the ones who have it called that because no one knows what Le Mans 66. What's that bloody mean?
I know what the Le Mans 66 is, but I wouldn't watch that film. But Ford versus Ferrari sounds like a way better film.
No, it doesn't, because immediate Ford versus Ferrari, without knowing anything about it, you're like, well, Ferrari, obviously.
Hello, you haven't, no spoilers, but let's just say Ford got hot over summer, so don't know what that means, but anyway, either way, that was
In my head there, I was thinking if they released a new car over the summer and it's like banging and it's like a secret that you don't want to tell us.
No.
They've released the Mondeo again. The Mondeo's out.
Mondeo.
Yeah, and a little Yachty is like you driving it and you're really into it now.
With a can of Sprite.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good work. Very good. Right, anyway, so less of this nonsense. Let's get to it. First up, Ray, have you got the anger management pills with you? Have you got all that fluffy toys and bats? Because we're going. Tyler, the Creator. Igor, let's do it. So here we are, Tyler, the Creator. Jambo, you picked this one for one of your Albums of the Year nominees. Tell me why.
So basically, most people, if they were asked by their friend to come on their 90s hip-hop influenced podcast, they'd think, let's bring on something that people will enjoy. Let's bring on something that I love a lot and that fits in with this genre, and let's talk about it and break it down. Instead, my main thing every week when I come on here is to just irritate the fuck out of Ray. I don't even like this album. I hate it. I just bought it to really anger Ray.
At what point, Ray, did you get was it the cover, the pink cover? What point was it? The idea of it? At what point did you just the anger start for you with this album?
So at the start, I saw the cover and I saw the title, and I was like, all right, no, I'm gonna give it a moment. I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover. I'm going to. I don't think I've listened to this all the way through.
Okay, so stop there then. Because already, just stop there. Yeah. I just want a slight brief synopsis of why, and I know this is going to go on, but first I want to hear Jambo's argument. I do want to hear why Jambo's bought it, and then hold it, and then we'll bring you back.
Right.
Because I knew you hadn't heard this album. If Ray's listens to this whole album, I'm impressed. I'll be impressed.
I like the fact that I didn't manage to get through one of his albums and he couldn't get through one of mine. It's
but
like
it was
a war.
4 days long. 4 days long.
It was 4 days long.
4 day long album.
Yeah.
But go on then, Jambo. Bring it back to what you were saying.
It's going to be a difficult listen for if you're into just boom bap lyrical hip hop. But yeah, it's a breakup album. It's basically Tyler, who's gone from Odd Future and like Yonkers, which is like a really dark, grimy sound, to now he's basically decided he's going to do a breakup album and focus on melodies and beats. And
he's not focused on anything. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to interrupt. All right.
He's not focused on anything.
I love the way as he said it, Ray started shaking his head. Like he knew he shouldn't be interrupting and he couldn't help it. I love it.
Okay, go on then. He's focused on one thing.
The reason I like this album a lot is it's Tyler being quite vulnerable. Like he's a lot of it's a breakup album where he's talking about like how angry he gets with the breakup, how much he cares about this person. Like you do learn quite a lot about him. The beats on it I love them. I love the production on it. It's so varied. There's a lot of texture. He constantly switches beats up. I like the melodies. It did take me a minute, I'm not gonna lie, to get past the fact that I always like singers who can't sing, but Tyler has taken that to one step further. He really can't sing, and he's really pitched his vocals. So I actually thought, when's Tyler going to come on this record? When it first came on, I was like, he's got this really squeaky singer, and then I didn't really realise it was him at first.
Yeah, it's very mediocre singing, but incredible sound.
Yeah, he's not a great singer, but his melodies are awesome. I really loved them, and yeah, I like the mix of the fact that he's done this super sort of like sweet melodies over really dark synthy beats, and I like that. I like contrast in music. I like surprises in music. I like variety basically, and this has got all of those things. I mean, look, I know Ray's going to hate this, and I'm not even going to argue. It's one of those things. You either like it or you don't. This is going to be Marmite music. You're either going to love this or fucking hate it.
Yeah, which is interesting because the consensus generally in pop critics and everything, hip-hop, all genre critics, Pitchfork, everyone, general consensus is this is a brilliant album. General consensus on that end. That's their general consensus. That's not I know you're going to get angry. That's not my consensus. I'm saying the general critical response is that. If it's going to win awards or not, who gives a shit? But it may do, and then it has that response as well. But I would say for an album that's very airy, very lofty album, fucking really ambitious by one of the most radical musicians of this last decade. Like from where him and Earl have gone from Odd Future is just amazing to see. And I talked about it on my episode where I was talking about Slow Tie. And I love the growth of an artist and to follow it in real time, from Kendrick to J. Cole to all the acts, like even back in the day when you have someone like LP and where he started to what he's doing now. I just like to see growth and like even when we talk to Muggs and how he's still doing things. Oh wow, it's really interesting. There is growth there. And with Tyler, it's just amazing them two in the same group because the influences are unreal. The way he goes, like when you're talking about contrast, mate, if you're talking about do I enjoy this album, like listening to this album, it's an incredible piece of work. I'm with you, mate. I love the beats. I love some of the bars. I love the sentiment. I love the story of it. But if you're giving me Denzel and you're giving me Danny and you give me Tyler, you're free. It's a bit like to Pimp a Butterfly. I know this is one of the best albums I've heard in a long time because I love synths anyway. And clearly Tyler's love for synth is like Tarantino's foot fetish. It is just there for everyone to see. And it's just like that is for me interesting to see where he just went and did like a funk soul rap genre bending record.
See, this is exactly it. You're listing off all genres that it almost fits into because it completely lacks focus. It's not about. It's like he's done everything possible. He's like he couldn't make any decision. You're talking about it's varied. I like how he switched the beats up. Like how it was done in Bandana. That's how you switch a beat up. That was sick because you got a sick beat and then it switches into something else. Fuck, that's how shit this is that I'm actually bigging up Bandana.
Mate, you need to chill the fuck out before you go down there, mate. Bandana.
No, it has grown. That's not fair.
Fucking about
Igor
time, man.
Jesus. I don't know why. Jambo knows. Again, it was the dangled out in front of me and I've bit. But it's. I don't know why this is part of the conversation. It's not hip hop, but I don't know what it is. It's not like it's a like you said. It's a breakup album, but in terms of like, it's not of any genre. It's just kind of, and that's fine. That's fine.
No, but that's not a problem.
You want to make that music. That's fine. That's cool. You go over there and do that, and we're going to be over here in this hip hop podcast. And you can carry on doing your thing. It's the same as what I said about Slow Tie as well. They can both be over there doing their thing, and I can just close the door on it and forget that it exists because it's not interesting.
Rap Brexiteer.
It's not interesting. It's like
I was going to say personally, this is probably the most hip hop album that we've had on Album of the Year in a lot of ways.
Break it down.
I'm just, really, I don't think that. I'm just trying to make it mad. But hip hop always sucked a lot of music from different genres and formed it into its own thing. And that's kind of what he's doing.
No, that's not what he's doing. It's basically all style and no content. It's no substance at all. I skipped through all of it. I hesitated on what's good because it sounded like it might have a beat, but then it just lost it. It varied. It's basically, it completely lacks focus. It's like he couldn't make a decision on what sounded good, and he was like, "Yeah, just do everything. Yeah, do that for a bit, and then whoever." I don't know if he's producing it or whoever. I don't do any fucking research on this shit. So however the beats are made is like anyone that's made beats ever is you'll find something that's good and you're like, oh cool, we'll stick with that, and you let people enjoy it for a bit. But it changes and changes and changes and changes. Like, yeah, there you go, it's cool. It's like it's not good. But it's just interesting. He has tackled that, and people have said that to him. That same point you've just said, where he was with Rick Rubin. By the way, brilliant podcast, and he's talking about breaking down.
One. It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he talks about like there's one that perfectly encapsulated is this: the intro, that dark droning synth that starts the whole album. I was like, okay, I'm kind of in. I'm in now. I want to know where this is going to go. Sound a bit like Flower Boy. I'm like, let's do this. But then it has so many elements in it. And I remember tweeting it as I heard it. I was like, Walkers, I need to tweet about this. There's one moment in that intro song where it goes dun 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 dun, that the piano keys come in. Yeah. And I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've heard all year. This is amazing. This is just this moment. Like, listen. You can't tell me. No, but at that moment, I felt like, oh, wow. Like, everything came together where that piano keys dropped. And I was like, fucking hell, I love this moment in the song.
I'm not having it. Yeah,
then it vanishes. And it's just, Rick Rubin said the same thing too. He was like, you have all these moments in the whole album, because the whole album's like that. The whole album has these soundscapes of, something pops up, then it goes away again. And he was like, yeah, because for me, he was like, this is like when I was making it, I just thought for when I heard that moment, it was beautiful, and I'm glad it didn't last, and I could make something again beautiful but different as it rolled on and became like a piece of art rather than repeating the same thing, which again you can argue is art as well, obviously. But it's interesting that you've picked that up, and that's what this album is. It is inconsistent in that end of things. But when you said it has no substance, mate, the range of emotions alone, the story from
it's not interesting enough to even bother listening to it. I've not. It needs to be something you're like, oh, this is cool, this is intriguing me, kind of thing. It doesn't. It does the opposite. It's like,
I reckon if you were going through love problems and shit like that, this is a good album to listen to.
Well, yeah, having said that there, like, to be honest, I can see what I've had 5 breakups in the last year, so this album definitely resonated with me. I was like, this is great. This is soundtracking my life. So yeah. Yeah, that's.
But mate, if this, what I was saying earlier about contrast, you said earlier about contrast, then Ray went off and we all did this little. I was saying it's a bit like To Pimp a Butterfly. Like, I know it's amazing, but if I want an album that I feel good and I want to, and it on repeated listens front to back, I don't think IGOR out the 3 is that one, and that's what I would love in an album of the year. Like, I would put Denzel and maybe even Danny's there before it in repeatable listens from front to back. Because there are moments in this where, after so many listens now, I am finding myself skipping tracks. And maybe that's because I know the story now. And I don't know, sonically, there's other tracks do more for me, like I think Puppet, New Magic 1. Those are the ones that I really love. And in IGOR's theme, the first one. This is, you know, when you said about nostalgia and how it all feels like we're living in, and Mug said it as well, like he feels like we're living in 94 again, or like 92 to 94, where there's a lot of independent, a lot of different varieties of hip-hop. When I heard you bring these 3, Danny, first time I heard Danny Brown's new album, it was like listening to some old Twisted Tribe Called Quest Gravedigger shit. Denzel Curry is like almost like a West Coast party vibe album, and this is like some experimental soul funk, like synth monster bullshit. Like, you know, you could hate this as a kid. It's like a Rick James of fucking hip hop.
Oh yeah, I'd have hated this when I was when I was a teenager in the 90s. I'd have fucking hated this.
Yeah, exactly. And then made me think, wow, the 3 albums you've bought,
all versions of
remind me of the 90s
this,
in that sense,
for all time.
Ray, so I can give you a reason why you might like this album.
I'm interested.
Go on.
Okay, so this album came out the same week as DJ Khaled's album, and it went to number 1. And DJ Khaled wasn't the best for a change. He was number 2, and he didn't get to shout "We the best." And he was really angry, and he did a video about it, a really salty video about how it was. He called it mysterious shit, and no one wants to hear it banging out of their cars and stuff. And it really upset him. And he got a lot of hate for that one. So that little video. So yeah, it really upset DJ Khaled. I think that's.
I agree with him though. You're not banging.
That is a good argument.
You just, I suppose you're rolling up the window and just, you know, just pulling over into the hard shoulder and just crying to yourself for a little while.
I know, Ray.
Have you been watching me?
There's been a lot of stuff that Ray said in this series, these 3 episodes that we've done. And almost all the time, it comes down to genre. And that's one thing with this album, is the fact that the last few years have just shown boundaries the collapsing now in genre.
No, the boundaries are still there.
When someone asks you what you listen to, when someone asks you what you're listening to, what do you say? What do you say I'm listening to? What do you listen to?
The boundaries are still there. He's just outside them. It's just not in hip-hop at all.
No, this is hip-hop.
Articulate why it isn't hip-hop.
What part?
Articulate why it's not hip-hop.
Because it's not anything. It's
so
not
early for it.
It's so early. Literally, just skip back in this and listen to how you've described. Yeah, it's kind of soul, funk, guitar, tap your beat on the table kind of music. It's experimental. It's a bit of. It's not hip hop though, is it? You never said You never said it's hip hop.
It's a mate. The beats are hip hop. If you put like a traditional rapper over these beats, a lot of the beats are not. Like just great hip hop beats. They're just. No. They are. They're like Neptune's beats, a lot of them. So
yeah, there's so much Pharrell all over this album.
I actually thought when he says at the start of Earthquake, when he says for real this time, I thought he was saying Pharrell this time. I was like, oh, we're going to get...
I don't know if you've heard him talk to Nardwuar, like that Nardwuar interview, he's done a few of them, but he spends 2 hours every morning listening to new music. And that's evident, like new music to his ears, not new music, but like, it could be stuff he's never heard before. And that for me, who knows what's going to come out of this genre. In the 90s, when I loved R&B, and I now know what kind of R&B I love, and it's more the FK Twigs, Terza, that kind of weird off-kilter R&B electro vibe. I would never have thought in the 90s when I listened to Aaliyah that that's going to happen. Tyler doing this now, in 10, 15 years' time, there could be something that comes out and be like, oh yeah, like that sound is just the thing now. You don't know, it could be this. It wasn't To Pimp a Butterfly when he did all that jazzy stuff. No one really followed it. He just
I
did
don't know.
it.
There's been better jazz rap since that came out. There's been a few. I've been really into jazz rap since that came out. Like,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's been
I
some,
just
on
not
my
radar.
bangers of the year. There's a few tracks that are jazz rap.
Oh right,
so,
but
yeah.
it's just not on my radar really as much. But
Yeah.
what I find with genre, and like if someone said what I listen to, I'm a hip hop head, but I listen to like it's a boring thing, but I listen to everything, and that's these lads who come from Odd Future, Frank Ocean, Earl, Tyler, that triumvirate. It's unreal how much talent in those three alone there is in a
Yeah,
group
it's
like
mad,
Odd
isn't
Future.
it?
And when you think that, that's like the Woo. That is like the Woo. That's like when the Woo came out, there was so much talent. I think the Woo had talent more spread out. I'm not sure if Odd Future's talent is spread out as much, but like even like bands like Trash Talk that they obviously gave birth to. I mean, I love those guys. So it's like they've obviously built a kind of world, a universe around themselves. But if we're talking, it's a hip hop album, and I know you might not come to this album for actual bars. Tyler can spit. He's spit in other albums, and he's shown he can. Maybe not as good as Earl, but he can spit. If you're bringing me hottest bars on the album, Jambo, have you got any?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's not literally. He said on that podcast that the one with Rick Rubin, he was saying with this album, and this won't be a surprise. And I really wished I could have seen Ray's face when he said this. He basically his main focus priorities are first is the beat is his main priority, then the melody, and then lyrics is his last priority. So it's like not a hugely lyrical album, but. I did like when he says, I can't remember what track it is, he said, it's hard to believe in God when there ain't no mirrors around. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That is good.
Yeah.
There's what I liked, Boy You Sweet as Sugar, Diabetic to the First Degree.
Yeah.
Just the way he flipped that a little bit really stuck out to me. I don't think Ray's going to have any. So
I think you like that there's a Timothy Chalamet lyric.
Yes, there is. With the Call Me By Your Name reference, isn't it? Yeah, I enjoy that. One of the best father-son scenes in movie history.
It really is. Brought a tear to the eye.
It did. As it did for Ray for this album, but for different reasons. And not because he was coming out to his dad. Spoiler alert for Call Me By Your Name. So that's your bars, Jambo.
Yeah.
Most rewindable track. Go on. Which one is it?
What is my most rewindable track? Like Earthquake. Oh, I know. Can We Still Be Friends? That. I love
that's
that
an
track.
interesting
I
one.
just love the way it goes. No. For some reason, that always makes me laugh.
I like it. I do like it. I think New Magic Wand.
Yeah, that's a great track. I
Yeah,
just love it all,
there's-
mate. Honestly, when you were saying that you skip tracks, this is my... Obviously, I could get, like... But this is my album which I don't skip any tracks through out of all of them. I can listen to I've listened to this through the whole way through so many times. So,
But like, if you look at like New Magic Wand, I noted down the maniacal laugh in the background really got me. I was like, yeah, that did really get me. Puppet made the way the track, way Puppet comes in, the keys on that, and then the outro on Puppet for some reason reminds me of Rosemary's Baby. I don't know if he's done anything with that the music from the film, or whatever, but it reminds me of that. It makes me think of that.
it is like a lot of the tracks are like horror movie-esque. Like they've got a really dark vibe. And
Yeah, man. Igor, well, the whole Igor
Yeah.
thing, you know, and Frankenstein's monster and all that. It's interesting how, he really tapped into that. And I love the artwork on it as well. I think the old Kanye kind of like, basically, it sounds a lot like Kanye to me, but it's a really good summer banger. I really enjoy that one.
Summer banger, he called it.
Ray, what do you think is going to age the worst about his album then? In like 10 years to come, what's going to be aged the worst?
I can tell you
about
in 10 minutes to come, this album is not going to exist to me. It's going to cease to exist. I'm deleting. I hate this in such a way that I don't like that we're participating in giving it any kind of credibility at all. The fact that even to increase anyone else's curiosity to go, oh, hang on a sec, let me see how bad can it be? Let me just go and put it on Spotify and give it another fucking couple of listens. No, it shouldn't be. Well, it's not even that it's bad. It's just that it's not hip hop. It's not interesting. It's not. I don't care.
Ray, what would you prefer to listen to? This or what's his face, Slow Tie?
It's got to be this. Slow Tie, who really hated.
Oh, that's
Slow Tie,
tough.
you can listen to this.
I hate that.
Yes, you're on a desert island and you only have one album, and it has to be one of these two albums.
Don't. My fucking head's gonna explode. That's actual torture, isn't it?
Really that close? Slow Tie's actually on this album, so
yeah.
In Jumbo,
he hasn't answered the question. He needs to answer the question. One or the other. Binary. Is he going to go with Slow Tie or is he going to go with?
I was going to let him off the hook.
No, don't make him decide.
It's it would be, yeah, it would be Slow Tie out of the two.
You'd have Slow Tie's album
over
this on the desert island.
Yeah.
I think that's a sound I can hear of James Midwinter eating a dick. There is James Midwinter eating a dick.
This is me celebrating. I managed to bring the album that upset him the most. That's a victory. I was praying for this result.
Okay, yeah, fair. Untitled category though.
Slow Tie has a couple of guests that I'm like, I just really get to know their Skeptaverse just inside out and back to front. Just that'll be it. Just that little bit I'd repeat forever.
Is there one moment in this album you liked? Was there not even one moment you liked?
There's just nothing. Honestly, I didn't listen to it all the way through. How I've been doing a lot of this, go to the gym and just chuck it on, and in the gym, music's making me fucking angry. It probably helps, But with this, it was more just stop what I'm doing and skip it. I'm like, what is this? What is this? It just frustrated me.
Fully informed opinion then.
Yeah, man who hasn't listened to album reviews album.
So I basically put all three of these albums on on one playlist and going through them. And spoiler alert, there are the other albums I've been looking forward to listening to more than this. It's just, it felt like wasted time when you could be listening to something. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much time you can listen to music. You should only, I really believe you should only be listening to stuff that you really fucking enjoy. And if I know I'm going to enjoy something more, and I've got finite time to listen to this, and listen to podcasts and all the rest of it, the voices in my head, etc., I can't just be listen. I can't be just wasting time listening to. It just frustrates, especially when I've been doing it a lot. I've been on the row machine in the gym, and it's just, and on the rowers that they've got at the gym as well. Like if you stop for too long, the computer thing just resets, and so you get into however many meters you've got to. And with time, that's what pissed me off more. Like I'm like, fucking, I've got to get the phone, get the sweat off my fingers, then unlock it, then go to the skip, and the fucking thing's reset. And I can't remember, I'm rowing to however many thousand meters, and I've got to start fucking again.
Cam, this kind of insight is why this podcast is the new Pitchfork. I mean, that was so incisive. This is like the Roger Ebert of hip hop podcasts. That was amazing.
Roger Ebert of hip hop podcasts. Oh man, I know. I enjoy Ray's insight. It's nice. We have all the lofty opinions of us lot, but no, I enjoy Ray's real and builder's cup of tea situation. The builder's cup of tea review.
Do you know what made me laugh? It was all quite like masculine. He's at the gym, he's doing all this stuff, and then he was like, I have to wipe the sweat off my fingers before he.
I'm just saying, it takes a little while to unlock. You got,
I would just imagine you cleaning the fingertips.
With a swab, just very delicate, and his fingertips are all manicured.
When you're trying to unlock it with with your fingerprint, and it's like, no, wipe the thing off. I'm like, fucking do it. The computer's got to reset. Oh, you fucker.
Do you know what this whole exercise made me realise is how fucking hard must it be being a reviewer? Because I mean, we tend to bring in albums that we really like for, and obviously there's sometimes we don't like it, but generally the 90s, we're all kind of into the same thing. Whereas, reviewing stuff that you don't like and having to listen to it is so fucking hard. Definitely. Not easy. Not an easy job.
No. I know. It's well, every job can feel like that after a while, can't it? Either way, on that bright note, Happy New Year. If we're talking about if you had to have a 90s rapper on this album, James, who are you going with?
Jesus, I've not even thought of this. This is really difficult. Do you know what? What would be good? There you go. Got one. Perfect. Boom. I would put Madlib doing his Quasimodo voice. On this.
Yeah.
That would be kind
of
fitting kind of perfectly. The pitched vocals, that would work.
Quasimodo and Igor. I like that. Yeah. I like that collab. Yeah. That sounds good.
I came up with that off the top of my head. That is why I'm on this podcast.
Insightful. Hashtag insightful. That's good. I like that. I was going to go with if you had someone. Doom, I suppose, but Doom mid noughties Doom. So same voice and all that, but the cadence and everything he'll switch around the Sonics.
Yeah,
and man, like that. I think he could have worked on something like this. It'd be interesting how they'd have done it, but I reckon he could have. He could have brought some bars there. Yeah. So if we give it ratings out of 10s, then
see
lads,
that they don't even bother coming to me because they know I'm just not gonna. No rapper should ruin their legacy by associating with this. So I
wasn't even going to ask you. I knew I just wasn't even going to ask you because no point. There's no point.
I should say as well, just in case it comes up on the recording. For a minute there, I thought Tyler created one of his albums had come on, but no, it's my mate's fridge in the background, just making a bit of noise.
To be fair, fridges, maybe that's the new. Maybe. No, it's not.
Sample that. Accidental beat time.
Accidental beat time. Here we go. It's a Slow Toes album. Hold on. It's a Slow Toes album. What I was going to say, though, just listening to his album, the research, one thing that did come out of it, a good little nugget for me, I was listening to the boys at Dead End Hip Hop doing their album review for this. Big up them boys. They're always brilliant as usual. And that album review was really good. But one of the guys on there was talking about people talking about, this is a new album and it's breaking convention. It's stretching. He's like, it's not really. He said it's like 80s soul funk albums. He said it sounds a lot like War and stuff like that. And it made me think, I've not actually heard War over a project. So I went and listened to some War, some old funk from the 60s. And fucking hell, yeah, they're amazing. So yeah, if anything, it led me down that little rabbit hole as well. So fair play to Igor for doing that one. There you go. And Dead End Hip Hop. Out of 10? Out of 10 then. I'll start because I've got an easy one here. I'm going to give it a solid 8. It's a solid 8 out of 10, this album. I'll still be bumping it for years to come. I'm interested.
Fuck off, will you? Just why you're just saying that to fucking wind me up.
Ray,
8. Fucking 8. You're literally never listening to this again, ever, never, ever, ever.
Ray, what's your rating out of 10? I want to know.
It's just zero.
Not minus anything. Not minus anything.
Not relevant. No, and I believe if you've got a rating out of 10, you've got to be true to that rating out of 10 and not do halves, not do 0.75s.
Not even a 2.
No, it's just zero.
Not even a 2. Nothing.
No, it's got nothing. It's got absolutely nothing. Of all the metrics that we give a shit about in terms of the beats, bars, all of it, head nod ability, it's not got any of it. It's
I love
zero.
how you live your life. It's like some rap Excel spreadsheet where certain things have to be ticked off. And then it's almost like it hits a counter. It goes, beep, 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 this is good. If these things are ticked, I wish my mind worked like that a little bit.
It's a bit nice. Asperger's, isn't it? It just.
I like it. It's like, well, has he got this? Yeah. Has he got this? Yes. Has he got this? Yes. Done. I'm in. Who is it again?
But it is also am I smiling while I'm listening to it? Am I enjoying it? Cool. Yeah.
I really want to know.
Bring you some Apollo Brown. Let's get back into it.
I really want to know about your views on underground hip hop at the moment, like artists that I've been listening to. I'd be interested what you think to them because I think you'd hate them, but a little bit he's like, what if he doesn't? He might actually enjoy that. Either way, we'll talk about those artists in the honourable mentions. Out of 10, Jambo, what are you giving Eagle?
I'd give it, I think, a 9. I think I'm going to be listening to this for a long time.
Wow. Really? I didn't.
No, he's not. He's saying that because you said 8, and then he said 9. Just to...
I think it's an 8 out of 10 album that resonates with me, and so that extra 1 is just my subjective enjoyment. I don't think it's going to be a 9 out of 10 for a lot of people. I think for a lot of people in the comments of your Instagram, the Crate 808 Instagram are going to be echoing Ray in their mum's basements while they angrily listen to some Killer Priests and stuff like that. They're going to be
them liner notes, them Killer Priests.
They're going to be stomping around, furious.
No, I don't know. Mind you, I don't know what it is. Something got put into gear about Tyler with this album, the hype. Like Forbes released that massive in-depth analysis of it, and I was like, geez, there's a real machine behind Tyler. Yeah, you know, himself, like just the way.
I always go to Forbes for my the hip hop reviews that I give a shit about.
I don't know if it went viral or what, but a lot of people I knew were sharing it, and it was like, wow, they must have heard this earlier.
It's genre changing. Whenever you do something, this is the reason Ray hates this, is because he's not doing the usual thing, and you'll either like it or it'll really upset you. And it's one of those albums that's going to push. I know Ray hates it, and I thought I'd bring it out just to really anger him. It's pushing music forward.
So Jambo, Tyler the Creator, Igor, it's your choice. Give me your 30-second final argument for why this album should be in Crate 808's Album of the Year, starting now. Okay, so basically it's incredible beats, beautiful melodies, an amazing story, an artist opening themselves up and talking about breakups, and it's a challenging album that's going to push the culture forward.
Wrong.
Very good, very good. So I enjoyed that chat. I'm going to go back listen to Tyler in a bit. So after this, we're up, man. Denzel Curry, ZUU. Let's do it. Yo, so just a little break in the proceedings. First of all, just to say, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe, please rate, please review, please tell all your peeps. Just getting the word out there and helping us grow is always a good thing, and we value all of you guys who are just taking time out to listen to us chat some shit. And of all those people out there who have been listening, man, you know the guests have been crazy for us, from DJ Premier to Farrah Monch to Sky ZUU to Open Mike Eagle. So everyone out there who hasn't checked it out, go to the back catalogue, crate808.com, check out all the interviews we've had. And one of those interviews was with Eric Sermon, the green-eyed bandit himself from EPMD. And we asked him what were his favourite albums of 2019, and here's what he had to say. So, 2019, any albums this year that you thought have just absolutely banged, and you think this is one of the albums of the year?
I think that I like the ones that came was Little Brother.
Oh man, such a good album. Such a good album.
Diamond D.
Yes. Slept on.
Yeah, but I still think Virgil is the album of the year regardless.
Mm-hmm. Of course, man,
it's just being real. I don't think nobody did what I did again.
We got Freddie Gibbs, Madlib that came out. We got a few of I think Tyler the Creator did some stuff.
What Tyler record is special because it's if you don't understand it, you won't be able to understand what that is. But it is a dope record put together. It's put together well for this time. It's put together well. Yeah, and the kid named YBN, California. Oh, man,
yeah, he's
the newest MCs are coming up after Kendrick and them that spitting rhymes. It's lyrical. Yeah, you gotta check for him. His name is YBN.
YBN Corday, man. Yeah, absolutely sick.
Yeah, he's really
definitely good. Yeah, man, wicked. Right then, Denzel Curry. God knows how long it's been, mate, since I've actually just wanted to talk about Denzel Curry generally on a podcast. So now we get to Denzel Curry, ZUU, Jambo. First of all, thank you for bringing this album because it's an absolute banger. Second of all, why for you is it a nomination for Album of the Year?
Well, I first got into this album from when Ricky came out this summer. And I was just like, this is one of the hardest tunes I've heard in a while. I think I played it on one of the podcasts for us to listen to on a break or something like that. And it was it's just such a good tune. And then when the album came out quite soon after, I'd been listening to Taboo from the previous year. And then I wasn't expecting him to come out with an album so quickly. So soon after, came out with the album, and it's a funny one, this is, because I'd say this is probably my least favourite of the three, but the reason it's my least favourite is also the reason why I really like it. It's a really simple album in a lot of ways. I listened to an interview with him, I think it was with Genius, and he was saying, his previous album, in case anyone's not heard it, is Taboo, which is a really banging album, isn't it? And
brilliant album.
Yeah, a lot of amazing bangers, but also a lot of introspection, interesting ideas.
Mental health.
Yeah, about mental health, he's very vulnerable in some of his lyrics on it, putting stuff out there that you wouldn't expect. And then I like the fact that in this interview, they asked him, what was your motivation for this album? And he was like, we just went in the studio and just thought, let's make some really hard shit. That was it. And I really, and
that's
I've got
as simple as you want it, though.
Yeah,
that's as simple as you want. That's the beauty of this album for me. Is that encapsulates it.
One of the words I watched a review recently, like I can't remember what it was on, but it was what's that YouTube series where it's the ginger hair guy talking Wisecrack? Do you ever watch Wisecrack?
Yeah.
And he was talking about what his worst film of all time was, and he was breaking down. It was Southland Tales, and it was like an actually well-made film in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of, but he was saying the reason it's so bad is because it's pretentious. And pretension is when you try and do a really big, grandiose idea, but you have no ability to like follow that idea through. I mean, naming no names, but if you make an album about the city of Detroit and try and be really deep on it and put loads of really boring verses and boring beats on it, then yeah, that's pretentious in my opinion. And try and be pseudo deep. Whereas this is not doing any of that. It's going, let's just make some hard shit. There's no pretension. Banger. And pretty much, and I didn't really like the last couple of tracks on this, but they've really grown on me. Like the booty shaking track, I really didn't like that. But that's
I hated that myself.
Yeah, it's grown on me since it's not my favourite track, and I probably would skip it. But I was sitting in the car with my friend Ruth, and like it's quite a misogynistic song in some ways, but like she was fucking loving it, and I was like, wow, this like this album's got a lot of potential to sort of make its fan base.
Interesting thing there when you said it's just fun and simple and it doesn't have to play by too many complex like layers as much. Although this has those, like it's where he's from in Carol City, isn't it? I think in Florida or somewhere like that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's like, it has these layers of like his dad telling him not to, like, family values, ethics, where he's from, an ode of all that. But it really, really reminded me, and I told you before about Bandana, listen to it with Daytona back to back. It's a brilliant complementary double back to back one. With this, mate, back to back albums, put this on, and then put Vince Staples' FM. And it's Vince Staples. It's Vince, when he brought the album out, front to back, killer summertime bangers. That's all it was. Like, and it's from the streets. Like, it's from where he's from in LA, and that and this has them west. It's an odd one, this, because it obviously is Denzel Curry is most melodic he's ever been. Like, this is possibly his most replayable album. Like, rewindable tracks. We'll talk about them in a bit, but the opening track alone is the production on the opening track is one of the best I've heard in recent memory, just because I was like, what the fuck?
It's Kenny Beats, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Ronnie J, again, absolutely slept on producer who's done stuff with Denzel and I've loved Denzel from day one. Like Ultimate, all that stuff. His first mixtape was amazing. So when he bought this, it's his most melodic shit. But then he's bringing stuff like, it's a pick and mix of rap sounds. Like there's bass music in here, there's southern hip hop, there's trap in there, there's this West Coast feel to it. And I was like, that is fine. In fact, not just fine, but more rewindable. Like the bangers, Ricky, man, Automatic, Speedboat. Oh man, Pat, Birds. We need to talk about Birds. Like that track is like a siren, and you just gets you wanting to mosh and shit. With
that track made me like Rick Ross, and I didn't like Rick Ross, and then I heard that verse and I was like, oh, I like you, Rick Ross. That was great.
Same here. And does he salute Nipsey Hussle or something at the end? Where I was like, is it on this track? Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. But I'm not a big Rick Ross fan either. And this track where I was like, holy shit, I can see what he brings to a track now, like properly. I've listed off 3, 4, 5 tracks there that are rewindable, absolute bangers, and this is why this might be, out of your 3, my album of the year out of the 3 you've brought. Even him as a bloke, like when I see him, he did stuff with. Did he do stuff with Rage Against the Machine? I think he did, right? He did a Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, he did the cover of.
But either way,
it wasn't Bullet in the Head, was it? I can't remember.
Anyway, no,
it was fucking great. If just put Rage cover and Denzel Curry into YouTube and watch a fucking great Rage cover. That's
what I'm saying. And then obviously he's with JPEG, he's with Slow Tie, he's working with lots of different people who are bringing these kind of same energy. But then you listen to him like Genius Thing, the For the Record series. And he's sitting there, and he starts off talking about grills, and he starts saying, "Yeah, Big Pun and RZA's grills were like." He's like, "RZA's grills were amazing," and they're talking about the stuff I love. And he's younger than me, and I was like, "Oh wow, he has that influence where he knows who Big Pun is. He knows how fucking good Big Pun is, even though he's not like I would not say Denzel's an elite spitter. He's a 7 out of 10." He'll bring some lines like on what's that Raiden line? I'm the Raiden a rap, and that fuck a Pop Tart, we bring toasters for real.
Yeah,
that's one of the most rewindable.
Yeah, I like that one.
My favourite lines. Ray's been quite silent. I want to know what Ray thinks because I'm intrigued to know what you think about ZUU, mate.
Yo. Yo.
Yo, just do that for the whole review. That's how much Ray likes it.
I was waiting for you to stop talking. I was waiting for him to. Fuck. I thought, is he going to remember that there's a third person on this?
That's how I feel every fucking week, mate. It's just you getting angry and him interrupting you, and then I never get to talk.
No, you do. You've all got personalities. Come on, Ray.
No, yeah, I was feeling it. It surprised me. He's got rhymes, he's got hooks, he's got beats, he's got punchlines. It's not like Change the Way You Walk music is that's all Primo and Polo Brown, but it's more like Cruise Slowly with your system up music kind of thing. Like it's I was actually I'm feeling a lot of this, that Ricky Bird's speed, but Ricky Bird's speed. It's all written in capitals, isn't it? So
that voice is amazing. Ricky.
I thought it was Bianca then from EastEnders. Ricky. Actually, was that the inspiration for the track?
So you go.
Might have been.
Pat as well. Yeah, I was loving that. Some of those bars as well. I was loving the idea of like just imagining like Denzel like at a barbecue with his family, and someone's being like, "Oh, it's a great barbie, mate. Great barbie. I'm not sure what we're going to do with these Pop-Tarts though. What do you reckon?" He's like, "Fuck a Pop-Tart. We carry toasters for real."
But there's some humour to that line, and I just think they're the kind of lines. It's like I remember that line. Like I don't remember a lot of lines nowadays. So it's just when it does that, that's what Denzel's good at. Like I don't know what you think of his past stuff. I'm not sure what you think either, Jambo. His past stuff. Are you fans? Are you fans of his past
I really
work?
like Taboo. Love that. That's great. Previously, Ultimate was probably the rest of that album. I just like the song Ultimate. I didn't. There's a one with what's his face, Joey Badass. I think it's called ULT. That's a good track. But other than that,
ULT,
I wasn't a big fan of his early stuff.
Yeah, ULT is amazing. If so, Nostalgic 64 was I think that was the first one that I heard, and then there was that Planet Shrooms, which is brilliant. Imperial is fucking brilliant, mate.
I didn't really like Imperial. I wasn't a big fan.
No,
not a huge fan. No, it wasn't for me. Like, I think he made a massive change between that and Taboo.
It's an interesting path he's gone for sure, because Taboo made him more palatable to this new generation of like emo rap as well. I thought.
I think it was just more the trap beats, just throwing the trap beats on it. But
also I think the substance of it and the whole, there was actually a lot of in-depth stuff going on with him. Yeah. And I think that resonated in the fields of XXX and people like that. I think they loved it. And then this, when he just wanted to make hard shit, it's like, yeah, fair play to you, mate. It's short. Okay, some of his punchlines can be seen as corny. I saw one guy reviewing it saying it was incomplete. It feels like an incomplete project. But because it's accessible, and I like that kind of... It's like when Kendrick released this Untitled, Unmastered series. No one really liked that, I don't know, but that I know of.
Have you noticed how many times you brought up Kendrick in this? But you're trying to dangle this out in front of me for me to fucking react, aren't you? Why you keep referencing Kendrick?
Because he's the truth. He's the one. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
it does, mate. If the fact that you don't like Kendrick just ruined. I just can't understand how you don't. I thought it'd be everything that you would enjoy, but the fact that you don't just proves that you're deranged.
It's not. The thing with Kendrick is that every now and again he has some gems, but most of it is just tiring to listen to, just unnecessarily over the top. There's so much misogyny and it's just boring. Anyway, we're talking about fucking Denzel Curry now.
That's all Denzel, yeah.
And you asked before, have you ever listened to any of the other stuff? Honestly, it has kind of passed me by, and it's been kind of maybe it's deliberate. Nothing's really there's nothing that's made me curious about it. But this has though. I actually love this album, and there's loads. And so when I was wiping the sweat off my thumb and skipping the tracks, I was skipping to this album. That's why I was like, I'm not going to waste my time listening to Igor when there's some really fucking good tracks on this as well, like really satisfying beats. I'm loving it.
What's most rewindable track for you?
I can tell you what I reckon. I bet you Ray loves Wish because it does sound like a bit of Fresh Prince, Will Smith era beat. It's kind of like a very sparkly, summery beat. It does sound. Did you like that one?
Hang on a sec. I'll put it on. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, no. To be honest, I didn't spend much time on that one. It was Ricky, Bird, Speedboat, and Pat. The ones that I was. Or was it PAT? I don't know what.
Do you know, like Automatic? Fucking Automatic. So great.
Such a good track. The intro, first
I'm
track
check it on right now.
Is brilliant.
Yeah.
What's your rewindable track, Jumbo?
Yeah, ZUU is underrated because usually intros are the first track is never usually the strongest. Everyone puts their second track, like their best track is their second track. And even Danny Brown in an interview I was watching said he always remembers Jay-Z would always put his best track second. So that's what he did with his. But yeah, ZUU is great. Like
ZUU's incredible.
It's got Wu-Tang, like a Wu-Tang vibe to it as well.
I feel like this is a very 90s album in that aspect of stuff. Like it feels like someone who's come from that era. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's definitely got elements of that. I like the fact that Carol Mart takes all the trap stuff away and goes, let's do a version of Naughty's Deep South music. Let's do what's his face? Oh, Bone Shaker, Bone Crusher, that guy.
Bone Crusher.
Guy? Yeah, Bone Crusher.
I'm just very glad that Ray's like, we're all together, one happy family. There's not like anything, this is the shortest review we'll ever do because you all kind of really enjoy this album.
Everyone likes it. 10 out of 10. Bye.
But I like a lot of the sentiments of the album as well. Like, never leave your day ones in the gutter, except if they bring shit albums to create 808. But yeah, just like in general, like he seems like a nice guy as well. And I think that's I like that in music. Where if someone seems cool as well, I'm like, well, I enjoy their music more as well. Like even that, Robbie for your chain probably pissed the whip you. Probably pissed the whip you. Probably not definitely, but you can just imagine that he's about to piss the whip. He's like, I'm thinking about.
Might not.
Oh, right there, yeah. He'd rather see a man live than a man die. So,
that's what a lovely man.
It's nice.
Can I bring up two things that might ruin the Ray's enjoyment of this?
Go on then.
One, he claimed that Odd Future were the main influence on him and his group, the Raider Clan, growing up. So that might upset.
And Space Ghost Perp, wasn't it? Space Ghost Perp, I think, is one of his big. Who, my God, he released that underground classic. I can't remember what the album's called, but fucking hell, I was so into that album. Remember, I played it to you, mate, Jambo. We were sitting in Ilford in the car.
I do remember.
And I played you Space Ghost Perp around 2012, 2011.
We were listening to Danny Brown then as well.
Yeah, and you were like, it's a bit odd, isn't it, mate? I was like, that's what's great about it. It's really odd.
Yeah, I do. I remember that exactly because also you were playing Black Brad Pitt by Danny Brown as well.
Oh my God. Underrated, all-time banger of the century, whatever it is. Fucking Black Brad Pitt was one of them ones I rewound over and over and over again. And the album cover of it, Danny Brown's cartoon face with a face mask of Brad Pitt was fucking great. Really good.
The other thing that I was going to say was, I don't know whether this will make Ray hate it, but or it made me a bit like, I always think it's a bit weird. But he says in that interview with Genius that he freestyled most of the lyrics. And I was like, But then he went on, and I hate it when people say that because it's not true, is it? None of these lyrics are freestyle. But then I think he was saying that he was just like spitting them, like where he was making the rhymes up in his head like Jay-Z does, never writing it down. I think that's what kids these days think freestyling is. And I think he just got a bit mixed up with it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, these are definitely, they're written. They're written.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I think it maybe rehearsed and like, you know, and then he doesn't have to take paper in, but I don't know. It's I'm not a creative in that way, so I can't imagine what it's even like doing it. But yeah, it seems
they're definitely
almost
not
unfathomable.
They're definitely not freestyle.
Yeah, well, they're not freestyles in the actual purest sense of freestyle. No, 90s rappers on here. Come on, man, what you guys got?
Oh shit, I'd have Juvenile on because there's a bit of a Juvenile influence in like a few of the tracks. Juvenile would be sick on this.
Yes, huh?
I was going to say, Ludacris, I reckon, would be...
Yeah. Although, to be fair, actually, neither of those could be on it because it's a Miami album with all Miami guests. So we'd have to go with Trick Daddy, wouldn't we? Or Trina.
We'd have to do Trina,
and
innit?
Then the album would be worse for it, wouldn't it?
No, Trick Daddy be interesting. Trick Daddy.
Interesting. I love the fact that you didn't go with a good adjective. You were interesting.
No,
that's what Ray's right. That's what you say when you don't mean something.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely would be interested in to see what that would sound like. I know I have my offcasts of people out there saying, there he is saying interesting again. Oh, there he is doing that again. I know I say the same things. It's fine. That's part of it, man.
Yeah, I think what you just said was interesting, Cam.
A bastard. Absolutely dead gif insert here. So is there any what will age the best out of this album, do we think? What will age the best?
To me, the beats. The beats are just great, and like, yeah, so a lot of the beats are made by an Australian duo as well, which I thought you might quite like, Ray.
There you go, Ray.
Yeah,
there it is. Get them on the pod.
Yeah,
get them on the pod, Ray.
I think they're the ones called like.
I don't automatically like Australian.
You love Australian things, don't you? You love Australian.
Mate.
He only likes Australian things now.
He's got his Castlemaine 4X tattoo, Castlemaine 4X tattoo, and the hat with the corks.
Yeah, and then just slam Hilltop hoods on constantly.
Yeah. Oh, Hilltop hoods. There we go. Reference, like it. We didn't talk about Age the Best of Tyler. I think what will age the best from Tyler is...
Let's not go back.
Everything about Tyler will age the best.
Come
on. It's the future of hip-hop music. Welcome to the
future of anything.
Okay, age the worst on this album. I do think it's going to be that stripper pole dancing one where I'm like, yeah, don't know. Yeah, that's one of the ones I kind of.
The fact that they didn't even, for the female parts, get a female to come in and do it is a shocking thing, isn't it? Come on, like that's patriarchy at its worst. They just pitched his voice.
It's hip hop. It just pitched his voice. Amazing. Yeah. Hip hop man. So that's very good. Marks out of 10 though. Marks out of 10, lads. What we going with, Ray?
Tenuous link. It might all be in my head, but so Ricky died in Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood track by Easy. Boys in the Hood, the track by Eazy-E, is musically, it's like an early 90s version of this track. Like it's got the same notes. It's got the same. You have to go to and listen to it, but the way it breaks down. And the way that this is like a futuristic version of
Ricky
Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E. Yeah, if you Ricky is of Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E. There you go.
There we go. I don't think I compared the two, but I'm going to. Ricky. Who said it better? Bianca or Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Well, if we'd have had Ricky from EastEnders running through an alleyway being shotgunned in the back, Bianca, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll be on board for that.
I don't think he'd. Yeah, Ricky. Anyway, either way, do you remember when I convinced our flatmate that she said Richie? Do you remember that? Our flatmate David Fraser. He walked in. No, he said by accident, he came in and went, Richie! Like that, it's Ricky, you idiot. And forever he'll be known as the guy who said Richie instead of Ricky. So that made me giggle. So, mate, it's about that time. Denzel Curry, ZUU, a resounding triumph, some would say, this album. I think it's the first one in almost 9 months of doing this that we've actually all got on with one album. We all really like. Bandana got close, but not so much. This one, okay, fair play.
I did have a negative to bring about.
Absolutely, let's bring it. Is it a Larry letdown moment?
No, not really. Well, it's got the bass lines are a bit formulaic. They're all about one note bass lines or two note bass lines. It's all just it's annoying because I really fucking enjoy them, but they're not because it's just like the deepest note, the lowest note on the keyboard, basically, isn't it? And they just repeat it, and they've got these fucking loud speakers around them. Like, yeah, that's sick. That's just don't do too much. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But that's what they said.
Ray's just described trap music. Ray's basically just described trap music. That is what it is. That's the whole appeal.
To be fair, if they disclaimed it and did say we just went in to make some hard shit, I think that's fine. I think it's fine just to stick. There's a lot of good work has been put out there just sticking to what's good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't always have to push the culture forward. We don't have to do that.
Keep the culture where it is.
Keep the culture where it is. Ratings out of 10. Denzel Curry, ZUU. Oh, go on then, James. I'm going to go with you first.
To me, I don't know. It depends on how long. I've been still banging it. It's a light 8 in an Anthony Fantano way. To me, it's a light 8. Maybe a solid, very strong 7 to a light 8.
Well, as my mum used to say, an 8 is an 8 is an 8, and I'm going to also give it an 8. Okay. I think it's as good as IGOR for me on pleasurable listening experiences, and I do think it's one of them playlist albums, isn't it? Them 4-5, put them on a good playlist with FM, Vince Staples, you're sorted. Yeah. Raymond Ridge out of 10.
7. It's a solid 7.
That's the
yeah.
That's higher than Gangstar.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, I mean, that's literally what I was about to say. Yeah, Gangstar got a 6. This gets a 7 because have I been listening to it more than the Gangstar? Yeah, I have been coming back to it.
There we go. Denzel Curry.
I mean, not a lot because obviously I've been listening to Apollo Brown since Detroit way more than this. So yeah, there you go. Just bring it up. Just throw it in there. Just throw it in there to one.
My
All the
Igor,
Metropolitan
in my dimension, that's my Igor.
And I'm just a prick that loves everything. Yeah, everything's great. Brilliant. Right, so I want your 30-second argument for why ZUU should be album of the year. Are you ready, mate?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I can think of a reason.
Okay. Ready, steady, go.
Okay, so the reason this should be album of the year is it's back-to-back bangers all the way through. Shiny, bassy, incredibly made beats, fun lyrics, and I imagine if I was like 17 again, this would be fucking amazing. If I wasn't such an old fart, this would be great to go to a gig and listen to this and like back to back just be like wilding out to this. So yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the live element.
Yeah, it's so important to this. Like I can imagine being a kid now going to see this, see him, the amount of bangers he has. People must be knackered. People must be like on their hands and knees at the end.
Mate, yeah, I was about to say, go see him. He's brilliant. Went to see him at Roundhouse. And it was amazing.
How did you get through that? Did you just have to sit at the back?
Just don't get involved, mate. Don't get involved. Get near the fringe, as much near the fringe of the mosh as possible, and then just sort of ride it and think, no, I'm not gonna get involved. But then again, I almost died at that Idols gig, so yeah. Either way. Right. So next up, what have we got? Danny Brown. Yo, just a little break in the proceedings. Just to big up some people that we enjoy listening to throughout this series. You've probably heard people like Shotgun the Orcs, Notorious POD, Breaking the Atoms. All those people, go check them out. Great podcast. Dad Bod Rap Pod as well. Can't forget those. But another podcast out there that we really enjoy is the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. So there's some boys from London. They chat good hip hop. Always funny. Always have some nice hot takes. Some you may not agree with. But then again, you get to listen to Ray and Jumbo on the Crate 808 podcast. And we don't always agree with those guys either, do we? So we thought we'd get the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast boys on and just see what their albums of 2019 have been saying. And here's what they dropped.
What's good, world? This is the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast coming to you. This is me, Yemi, Peter,
you,
and Mohammed.
You.
Big thanks to Crate 808 for having us on their end of year wrap up. Big honor, big up you guys. You man are doing amazing things.
Salute to them.
Shout us for the plug.
Big up,
for
big
Primo
up.
And Farrah Munch. We need that one there. Anyway, we are here to basically reel off our favorite albums of the year. So yeah, without further introduction, we're just gonna get straight to it. Peter, what you got?
Top 5. This is tough, man. I feel like there've been some good releases this year. Quite a few. I know people have said that they disagree, but I feel like it's been a good year for hip hop, man. So my 5, I've picked 5. I got Wale, wow, that's crazy. Westside Gun, Hitler Wears Hermes 7. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib Bandana. Kano, Hoodies All Summer. And Little Simz, Grey Area. That's my 5.
Is that in order?
Nah, I couldn't do that in order. But yeah, that's my 5, man.
It's strong. Definitely been a solid year for hip hop. If it hasn't been like all the way like bombastic, it's been solid.
Yeah, for sure.
Mohammed, what do you have?
So my 5 would be, I think we all agree, Rhapsody's there. That's the only person I've got number 1. Everyone else is kind of, I ain't got in order. That's just my favorite album of the year. After that, I've got Dave's one there. Can't remember. I think Dave's one was good.
Psychodrama.
Yep. I've got YBN one there as well.
The Lost Boy.
Yep. I feel like you're going to give the title, so this is a great teamwork right here.
Yes.
So I've got YBN also. Another one I've got A Boogie's one there just because I'm a massive fan of A Boogie and I feel like he delivered on that album. It's one, I don't think it's the best, but it's one of my favorites of the year. So I'm kind of basing it on my favorite of the year rather than which one I think is quote unquote the best of the year. That's one I've kind of listened to the most. And then to round it off, I just need to put quotation mark. There might be a bit of bias in this.
There definitely is going to be some bias in
this. Do you even know what I'm going to say?
No, but carry on.
I know.
Who am I going to say?
Wretch 32.
There we go. Thank you for knowing me so well, Peter. And to end it off, it's Wretch 32's album.
Upon Reflection.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Great title, great album, great guy.
He's definitely reflecting upon things.
Yeah. So then, that's my 5. Rhapsody, Dave, Wretch, A Boogie, and YBN. That's
cool.
my 5.
Yeah. Yours?
Okay, so my favorite album of the year, without a shadow of a doubt, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, Bandana. My favorite producer ever, and one of my favorite rappers at the moment. Just going back and forth. It's an amazing album. And then number 2, I've got Hoodies All Summer by Kano. Another amazing album, especially after him being away for like 3 years and coming back with something as amazing as that. Big up to him. And then I've got this in no particular order, the rest of them. I've got Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville. It's just a really good album, man. It's got bangers, man. It's got bangers, and like Dreamville are a very good team, and they're building something amazing there. So big up to Dreamville, big up to Cole, big up to all those guys. I've got Rhapsody, Eve. It's just an amazing concept album, picking up all the amazing black women in the world. So salute to Rhapsody for forever remaining consistent. And I've also got Grey Area by Little Simz. Little Simz has just come through in a big way this year, and I feel like she's destined for much bigger things. It's an amazing album, great project, and salute to her. So yeah, salute to all those people.
Just quickly,
Yes.
add Revenge of Dreamers to my one as well, please. Thank you.
To replace what?
A Boogie.
Fair enough. All right, that's it from us at the Rhymes Like Diamonds podcast. Thank you once again to Crate 808
Salute
for having
to
us.
them, man.
Salute
Big up.
to you guys. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. And we're signing off. Peace.
So, Danny Brown, he came back at us 2019. You know what I'm saying. I really enjoy this album. James, why did you bring it to the table for this debate today?
I bought it because I was so surprised by how much I enjoyed it. As we said in a previous episode, Album of the Year episode, like Danny Brown was someone that I really liked on guest vocals, but never really loved his previous albums particularly. And that's the same with Tyler, actually. Like, there's a theme going on here. I never particularly loved Tyler's previous stuff, and it was just really refreshing, like, to hear. I kind of did check out the Pitchfork interview where they were saying that he's gone back to being what they called a hip-hop classicist, which I'm not sure what that means, but I was like, that sounds like he's going to be making a really enjoyable boom bap album, and it's fucking Q-Tip back.
Yeah.
Executive producing, and I was like, this has got to be great, and it didn't. I just was like, I love this. This has surprised me so much, the direction he's gone in. And rather than after Atrocity Exhibition, where it was kind of like to the abrasive of beats with his abrasive vocal style, and then he's come back with a really enjoyable listen. This whole album's so fun to listen to.
Did you not like Atrocity Exhibition?
No, not really. It just wasn't my thing. Like, I get that it's like in that sort of, I do like JPEGMAFIA and what are they called? Dollar Store. What are they called? We were talking about them the other day. For some reason, it's gone.
Oh, you mean Death Grips?
Death Grips, fucking Death Grips. Yes, of course. I love Death Grips. Is like the Dollar Store album, and yeah, I love that. But his voice was too irritating, and that's one of the things about this album is that Q-Tip apparently came in. And he was like, none of the high voice double time shit. That's literally a quote. None of the high voice double time rap it. What he wanted was like Danny Brown to go back to his old school, which Danny Brown says is more like him trying to rap like Nas and sort of take it down and be less experimental, which is weird considering how much I love Igor. But like this, I love the fact that this is doing a really comfort food version of 90s hip hop, and it's just great. I love it all the way through.
What I like about this is Danny Brown casual. Reminds me a lot of Old. There's a lot of tracks from Old that I love Old as an album.
Yeah.
It has that with them absolute residual traces of Atrocity Exhibition, which is hard to listen to, even though people put it as their number one album of the year when it came out. Oh yeah, a lot of people did. I think maybe even Fantano did. And it is one of them albums which is really abrasive, and I really liked it. I thought it was really pushing the fucking boundaries of where he was going to go.
Yeah.
But this kind of like just tales of survival and almost like showing growth, but also not, if you know what I mean. Like they want that old Danny Brown. This is that old Danny Brown. He's 38, man.
He's
hit a lot.
Fuck, I didn't realise he was that old.
Yeah, man. He's 38, yeah, definitely. Well, he's about that anyway. He must be around that. But he's hit a lot of different spectrums in his career anyway, and he's had a very storied, like, interesting career to look at. So when it was Q-Tip, I was like, fuck, right, Q-Tip, okay, let's like, this is going to be, like, piquing my interest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking forward to see what this is going to say. But, mate, for me, bangers. Combat, brilliant.
God, what a track.
The trumpet loop with that plodding, bouncy bass Danny must have just heard that and just been like, right, fuck it, I can't wait to fucking rap on that track.
Yeah, I like the
And,
way
like-
he broke down what his sort of inspiration for being on this track, what it was. And it was
Go on.
like, he was like, it's the classic rap thing. It's what all rap is basically based around, is just being the baddest motherfucker on the block. And like, that's what he's saying at the start when he's like, I can talk a cat off the back of a fish truck. Like, what a sick line that is. It's just, and it has, you know, I mean, it's got what I'd call head nodability. I don't know whether you guys have ever heard that term before, but yeah, to me, it's like got that kind of vibe.
Do you know what? The more you're talking about it now, when we talked about Denzel being up there, yeah, like Combat, Savage Nomad, that's a banger of the year. Savage Nomad, that guitar sample and droning beat, and the laughing on the hook is brilliant, and there's these like bubble sounds and the drum solo fucking outro. It's just one of the best produced tracks. I had to look it up. It was a person called Player Haze. I've never heard of them, whoever they are, and I was like, wow, that track and Negro Spiritual, another one where it was really odd but fucking good, and like Thundercats on there I checked out, like, and there's a lot of stuff I've got from this album where I feel like it'll get me down rabbit holes more than Denzel's. I'll play it, but like I'll listen to this album and Belly of the Beast, listen to that track, sinister as fuck.
I don't like that track. That's the one track I'm not a big fan of.
Really?
I don't hate it because his lyrics on it are hilarious, but it's my least favourite production on it because it sounds a lot more like Atrocity Exhibit.
See, but I like that effect of it. It's still, see what I mean? Like the effects of his last album are still here, just a little bit more muted. And that is a kind of track you would never want to trip on acid to that track because you're just going to have a bad trip, no matter what.
It's creepy, isn't it?
It's creepy, but the creepiness and the beauty in that creepiness. That guy, that unique voice he uses, Abong Jahar or Jaya, Abong Jaya, fucking hell. I had to check him out. I was like, who is this guy? He's got a really odd, like, voice, and he's also on the title track of this album. And yeah, he's just an odd entity on this whole thing. And it's just little things like Shine, like lyrically. That's a brilliant opening verse from from Danny on Shine. The beat is sick. I remember listening to it and thinking, if you remade Lost Boys, right? 80s Lost Boys, if you remade that now, you could use Shine as a track in that film. Like, there's a little breakdown the hook, there's a flute synth thing as well, and it's all 80s. And like, you think Blood Orange doing that stuff on the hook, that kind of thing, you can really dive down rabbit holes with this album, I think.
Yeah.
I think you can really do that. Ray, what are you saying to this album?
Yeah, I was it's curious. So in the way that when I was listening to Igor, and I'm like, skip. This one wasn't that. This was like, I'm curious about it. It draws you in because it's interesting. Like, and like even just from the outset, the opening track, the change up, it's like it's not a 4/4 beat. It's I don't know what type of beat it actually is, but it's not one. It's one of those ones when you're nodding your head down to the beat, and then you find yourself nodding your head up to the beat, and you're like, oh shit, you have to keep resetting yourself and be like, right, and then but then to try and rap on that as well. I mean, he didn't absolutely smash it out of the park, but he, still to do that is it's a challenging thing, and am I going to be listening to this? Is this going to be on a playlist that I'll introduce to aliens from another planet? No, it's not. I don't think it is. But it is interesting. Listen, and that track, I don't think you mentioned it yet. Best Life as well. I quite like that.
That's great.
Best Life, man.
Yeah,
all the Q-Tip productions are fucking great.
Yeah, there's that sweet old sample of Best Life, and you're just waiting for Danny to just contort that and fucking twist it around like he usually does, and he does it, and he actually settles into a really brilliant song. But when you listen to Best Life, there's a lot of other stuff, like he's not just living the best life because there ain't no next life. There's a lot of like themes to this album, growing, just being a bit older, and even though the sexual references on Belly the Beast are like bad, like there are those things. But if we talk about hottest bars on the album, what have you guys got?
Hose on my dick because I look like Roy Orbison.
Hose on my dick because I look like Roy Orbison.
That's a fantastic lyric that always makes me laugh when I hear it. I also like, even though it's on that tune that I'm not as big a fan of, I like, there's a really ridiculous bit where he's talking about, if it smells like syrup, you're gonna get this work, but if it smells like perch, gotta disperse. That bit always makes me laugh as well. It's so ridiculous.
It's so odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, Ray, have you got any punchlines? You got any bars that you enjoyed?
Nothing really grabbed me, to be honest. I don't know. I just thought his style is very much. He sounds like a 90s cartoon villain, doesn't he? So it's like Krang. rapping the whole time, and I don't, and not in a good way. I don't think of that as, it's not a highlight. I'm not like, and so yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that really grabbed me, but I did listen to it from start to finish more than once. So you know, that's something. That's something.
This one, there's more bars, I think, on this one that I really took. Like that Roy Orbison line's amazing. I'm anemic with the ink. You a Stevie Wonder blink is one of the best like disses I've heard in a long time. But then I thought my favourite lines, probably in the whole album, was the Run the Jewels fucking song.
Oh yeah,
and it's so weird, and I didn't like it when I first heard it. I was like, "What is this fucking beat?" And it was a bit like Earl's new album, Clay Feet or whatever it's called. And it was like tracks on there where I was like, what is this? But then I heard LP and he says something like, True Doom, I eat you up like food.
Yeah.
The Doom references, I was like, oh wow, LP's doing what he does. It is more basic maybe, but it really hits home. But the fucking line on this album, maybe line of the year up there with Pusha T and shit as well. Mate, Killer Mike. I sip on fine wines, fine dine with dimes and nines. I got an Einstein mind and I still tote iron. I was like, what the fuck? The way he rhymes that, I just butchered it, but the way Killer Mike rhymes that, I was like, rewind that fucking shit. What the fuck was that? And yeah, and that line, yeah, Killer Mike just fucking killed it. One of the best lines. Yeah. So,
that verse is
I really
such a good verse as well. There's a lot in it there. It's like hilarious, funny, great disses, little bit of social commentary. It's a great verse. Like one of the best I've heard from him in a little while, actually.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. It makes me just really excited for the new RTG project as well.
Yeah.
Another one, when I was listening to this album, listened to Q-Tip, and there's this guy called Purple Haze that I talked about, but Player Haze. Paul White is on here. And I've not heard Paul White. I don't know if do you guys know Paul White, the producer?
No, but he produced the worst track on the album, didn't he? So
did he really? Which one?
Belly of the Beast. I think he produced that.
Oh, I know, but I love Belly of the Beast. I think that's a really good track. Okay. Like Paul White, no, he's an indie hip hop producer. He's been around for a while. His beat tapes are sick, so I would check them out if I were you. But it's just good to see him pop up on like a project like this. Opening track as well, man. A grower. Again, Danny's bringing he's consistent. He's genuinely very consistent.
This is his best album, right? This is his best album.
Old for me. And Triple X might be better.
Old has got a fucking... who's that shit dubstep? Skrillex. It's got a fucking Skrillex feature on it. It can't be better than this.
Mate, this is really good, but I love Atrocity Expedition as well, but for different reasons. Again, it's one of them, have I listened to it a lot since? Probably not, but when I do visit it, it's like, fuck me, it's still really good. I think you might have to revisit that track, man, that album, man, because I think you'll get stuff out of it, especially after listening to this. If we're talking 90s rappers to be on this album, I mean, there's a lot of bars. People are barring up. Big up to Dad Bod Rap Pod. They were doing their end of 2019 episodes, and they were saying bars are back. Like people are actually barring up.
Bars are back.
No, but it's true. If you look at hip hop in the last 5 years, they've been creeping back, man. Roc Marciano, everyone is coming out from the underground. They're bringing bars back, and it's not just about melody anymore. And on this, I think if you were to put a 90s rapper on this, he'd have to have bars. Like, you can't just be charisma, it had to be bars. So
I just can't get past the headline of this podcast. Bars are back.
That wasn't the headline of the podcast. That wasn't the headline of the podcast, annoyingly. But who would you put on? Who are you putting on here?
What? As a 90s rapper? Mm-hmm. I got a good one for you. I put Sada X on there. I think he'd fit in really well.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
I'm going Pharoah Monch all day long.
Yeah,
Pharoah Monch all day long. This feels like an Organised Confusion type of album in a weird way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Pharoah, I reckon Pharoah will work. I was going to say Buster as well, more original Woo-Ha. Buster. You know, that kind of a little bit crazy kind of thing.
Yeah. But like someone who can twist and contort their voice more like Pharoah would work well with Danny, I think. If we look
all right, you win. You can have that one.
Yeah, fuck you, Ray. I've got that one.
Competition, is it?
Yeah, I'll just cut you out, mate. Just cut you out the final edit. Don't worry about it. So I listed about fucking 100 tracks. Do you have Flying Lotus of Thundercat on this, by the way, as well?
I didn't know.
Like, yeah, Negro Spiritual. That's with JPEGMAFIA. Sounds like a Neptune's track, almost. And I love that track. Flying Lotus of Thundercat are playing on it. He actually brings a lot of different people into this.
Yeah.
So when you look at like what's going to age the best, the Sonics, I think, on this are going to age really nicely.
Yeah.
In like 20 years. Some of the lyrics, I think he has a Me Too lyric where I was like, I think you get cancelled. I can't remember what the lyric was, but there's a Me Too lyric in there that stuck out to me. But yeah, like I think that might not age very well, but I think the beats are going to age quite well. What do you guys think? What may age the best?
Oh, definite. It's a beautifully produced album. I think age the best. The fact that Q-Tip's getting back into producing hip hop regularly, it's just classic, pure classic beats. Just love it.
Yeah, it'd be nice, man. Nice to see if Tribe ever bring another project, it'd be amazing. What do you reckon, Ray?
Just the tracks that I'll keep going back to. Best Life in Combat are the ones that I'm like. That after a few listens, that maybe everyone, maybe that's a modern day thing, isn't it? You listen to the whole album, you like, and you kind of extract the tracks that you come back to quite a lot and put it in your other playlists. Combat and Best Life are the two ones that I've been enjoying the most.
I'm enjoying it. Age the worst? What's going to age the worst?
Oh, nah, shit. That's a tricky one, actually. There's a lot of misogyny on it, I'd say.
Yeah. He talks, he loves it, doesn't he? But remember, this is the man who got his dick rubbed live on stage and still spat the whole verse. Fair play to him. Got a hand job, finished off, and still spat the whole verse.
Did he finish?
Yeah, finished. No, he finished the verse. I don't know if he finished. Either way, mate. That's
impressive. That is really.
It's impressive from jump. It's impressive from jump.
Yeah.
There's hands around my testicles. I won't be doing this podcast. If someone's grabbing my balls right now, I won't be doing this like at this level. There'll be at least a hint of. I'd have pitched my vocals a bit like Tyler.
I'd call Artie right away and get her to run in and get mad with you. Can I tell you something that really made me laugh while I was listening to a Danny Brown interview about this album? He talked about how his wife does jiu-jitsu. And she switched from, if you're into mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu, she switched from a Gracie Barra gym where you wear the gi, which is like the pajamas, to a 10th Planet gym where you're just wearing rash guards and stuff. And I'll paraphrase what he said, but basically he said he was scared now because she can tap her brother out naked. Which made me laugh.
He is funny, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's genuinely quite funny. It's that kind of it feels like an Eric Andre show. Like it does feel like that. I don't know if you've watched Eric Andre, but it is that kind of humoury, twisted.
Yeah.
It is, right? It's very much like it makes me think of that. But out of 10, if we're giving this out of 10, Ray, what are you giving it, man?
I'm giving it 5. Which given the albums that I've given 0, that's a pretty good mark.
I was thinking 6.
Again? No, I'm not.
I was thinking 6. I thought it was going to go 6, but it's not. Jambo?
To me, it's a 7 or 8 again. I really enjoyed this one, but
I think you've brought 3 8s. I think that 3 8s you've brought, and I am quite strict with my ratings, but I genuinely do love these 3 albums.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very tough in the conclusion to figure out which one of these is album of the year for me. Keep switching.
No, it isn't. Denzel Curry won this 1,000 times over. What are you talking about?
There we go. See you later, guys. See you later next week. Bye. Peace. So, Jambo, 30-second conclusion. Are you ready, mate?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay, so if we're one of those commenters in the Crate 808 Instagram page who only listens to 90s hip hop, just loves Shame the Rugged Child, those kind of albums, thinks that MF Doom has sold out and has gone too commercial recently, only likes 90s hip hop, and you want to listen to something new and enjoy it that has a real 90s vibe and brings back old favourites from the 90s and creates a beautiful boom bap album, this is that album to get.
Boom. That was bang on. Mate, fair play. I enjoyed that conclusion and it made me want to listen to the album.
What, Shame the Rugged Child's album? Don't listen to that. Shit.
It might not be now. Might be on a
I thought the conclusion was interesting.
Pricks. All of you are pricks.
Very good.
Right. Now we're going to try to conclude and figure out of these 3 which is the album of the year, and also talk about our honourable mentions and maybe some of our favourite bangers of the year. Boom.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is DJ Premier, and you're checking out the Crates 808 podcast. I put an S on it because there's more than one record in the crate, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we dig, that's how we play, and that's what real DJs do. You heard? That's why it goes down. We out here.
So, we're sitting here, we've got these albums, Denzel, Tyler, Danny. Which one's album of the year? That's the thing, lads.
I think it's
Which one's album of
obvious
the year?
between us. To me, Igor is, but I can see you both like ZUU the best, and like, you know, I'm not going to hate on that. I think it is much more likable album in a lot of ways. So yeah,
I think if certain days Igor will be fucking on repeat, but then it's just ZUU.
Fuck
and
off. Just not, why even say it? It's literally not true.
It's true.
It's literally not true.
Ask my wife. It happens. Or play the album. The album is really rewindable if you like it. But
No,
it's just
it's
not
not.
as rewindable. Yeah, even Danny's album is fucking good. And especially if you listen to, again, a lot of the undergroundy hip hop, it fits very well into a playlist of like a bit more underground hip hop. Whereas Denzel's is a bit more shiny. It's a little bit more well polished. So yeah, I mean, if it's going as a consensus, I think it's going to have to be Denzel Curry ZUU. What are you saying, Ray? Of course it is, isn't it?
100%.
Of course it is.
100%.
Well, there we go then. We've named it. Denzel Curry ZUU ahead of Igor, and you know what I'm saying? Bang, there it is. I'm sorry this took a long time to get. We were supposed to get all these done in 2019. It's 2020 now. But you know what? Stick with us. It's fine. We've all
don't
got day jobs,
apologise.
we've all
Don't
got
put that
families.
in. I hate it when you apologise. And I hated at the start of this fucking podcast when you were like, oh, no one's listening to this. Don't put that in. Don't put what you just said in. Let's be fucking confident. This is hip hop. None of this
No, but
shit.
you got to be yourself. And if I'm not that guy, I'm not me.
No, be someone new. Be someone new. That's what I say. Someone confident.
Don't want to
in
be
them.
someone.
do
new.
us all a favour.
Hate those new people. I
Oh,
want to be me.
listeners, no one's listening to us, and yes, I hate that. Sorry for what we did, bringing out something free for all of you guys that you don't have to listen to or have to pay for. Really sorry. Pathetic.
I'm keeping this all in. Keeping all of this in.
If anyone does mail Cam to say he's angry about they're angry about something that Cam's done wrong, fuck you. That's what I say.
But that's when you made it, though, isn't it? Yeah. When someone cares enough to hate on you.
Yeah, that's actually
that's
true.
it.
Oh man,
We made
savage.
We made it.
Absolutely true. Well, yeah, there we go. Okay, Jumbo, you've 2020 started 2020. This is making me. Yeah, that's maybe the attitude I need to have. It won't have it. It's not me. But either way, I enjoy it. So on our last podcast, we did say we were going to do some maths and get together all the scores we'd made and actually see which is the actual album of the year from Crate 808 judges. And Mr. James Midwinter has those scores right now. James,
Okay.
could you enlighten us?
Do you want each album?
Can you
or
enlighten us?
Do you want so basically?
Yeah, let's go each album. Go
I'll
on.
go from the worst album up to the best album.
Okay, let's go.
The worst album, Slow Tie. That got the worst score.
Ironic, because the best.
No one's surprised at that. No one is surprised at that. People are relieved.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't.
The confirmation.
I wasn't surprised that you hated it so much, Ray. That's kind of why I bought it.
And the next worst album is controversial because for Apollo Brown, I said for me it's a 0. I said objectively I think it's a 4, but being as we've been going with the what we are scoring it gets a 0. So it's the next worst album. It's 16.
No
Wow.
way. That's not
16
correct.
points.
That's
Yeah.
not correct. You've picked
Damn.
the lower score.
Yeah, I'm a cunt. That's what I've done.
All right. Well, that's it. Go on.
Ray has no
I
argument.
was sat here,
Coming
I was
from an
sat here
actual
thinking,
cunt.
Cam was like, oh, it's a 4 then. And I was thinking, no. In my head, no, it's a 0. And you've given 2 other albums, one of mine and one of Cam's a 0. So fuck you, you can have a 0. And it gets
That's actually true.
It gets 16.
Yeah, but
So it's the next one.
both of those albums were shit.
and so is Apollo Brown's album.
It's not. People
I
are
love
just.
Apollo Brown's album.
Okay,
People-
next,
it's all right,
on to
it's
the-
fine.
Either way, let's
People
just
aren't
let's
listening
put
to
this
it.
together.
People
let's
aren't
put a
listening
disclaimer
anyway.
out there.
People aren't
Let's put a
listening
disclaimer
anyway.
out there so people
Tuned
don't
out.
people don't like flip their wig. This isn't the worst album of the year, by the way. This is just the worst of the best albums.
No.
Just so people are out there going, "Oh, you said Apollo Brown's is the second
We
worst of the year."
run
No.
we run hip hop. It is the second worst album. Sorry.
We run it. Okay.
Okay,
cool.
next
All right,
next
well, that's a
worst
surprise.
album is Igor, which got 17 points.
That's ridiculous.
I know
Both
that's
them three,
that's
all three.
really a crime. It's really a crime.
Yeah, all three
Yeah,
of
the
them are
album
ridiculous.
is a crime
Hold
that
on.
it exists. I agree.
And one each. We've all bought a shit album.
Well, we've all bought an album that's really upset the other 2 people. So
Yeah, essentially.
Let-
Mate, I was not upset at all. I was the awful guy who loved everything.
just think about it though. We've bought enough. We've bought 3 albums. So in every one of these podcasts, we bought an album that's likely to have upset a large part of your fan base, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alienating.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
Maybe your Instagram numbers will start to drop off based off of that.
They already have.
Next worst is Gangsta, which has got 19 points, which is, to be fair, is a pretty middling album, isn't it? It's like not amazing. Even Ray, Even Ray undercut you of his score for his own album. And went 6. So,
yeah, she did. He did. I forgot about that.
Which really made me laugh.
He did. Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot. Actually, I forgot. Rhapsody is joint with Apollo Brown as being the. So that's joint. Apollo Brown and Rhapsody are the joint worst on 16.
That's what surprised me that Rhapsody wasn't there.
Yeah,
you guys hated
joint
it.
Worst, and that rightfully so.
Not joint worst.
Joint second worst.
Joint second worst.
That's
joint
never.
Second
worst.
Yeah.
Oh, we should. We should forget Slow Tie. Yeah, you're right. Actually, carry on.
Never.
Okay, now we're getting to the best albums. The plus 20 marks with 21. Danny Brown. Oh no, actually, Danny Brown. Yeah, Danny Brown got 20. 21.
Do you know what, Danny Brown? That surprised me. It's a fucking great album.
Yeah, but it's the second highest score on the. It's the second highest. So it's basically because there's 3 albums that are joint first. So really, Danny Brown is the second best album of the year, and the first best album of the year is a joint tie between Bandana, Retropolitan, and ZUU.
What?
So
one each again.
What are we going to do?
Name them three
I'm
kings.
going to jump ship, and I'll be ZUU. For me, isn't the best album of the year, even though I bought it. It's either Retropolitan or Bandana.
So Bandana then. So basically, you're the deciding factor because Ray's never going to change, just generally.
Let alone the scores. The problem with the premise is that the objective fact that Retropolitan is better than Bandana. That's it.
Is this another podcast?
That's it, basically. So
we're doing another podcast between these two.
Basically, we should have put a disclaimer in about 10 minutes ago that all Ray was going to do from now on was just say, I'm right, over and over again.
Mate,
you can
that disclaimer happened months ago.
We'll just put a ping noise in whenever you cut a bit of him saying I'm right out. Just goes ping.
You know when you had that bingo card? That bingo card is another bingo is Ray just saying wrong or correct. Yeah. That's it. His is very binary.
Yeah, I do that. It's a really horrible habit. When I hear myself on the podcast doing it, I'm like, ugh. I hate it when I do that.
It's entertaining though. It's entertaining. It's the only way Ray works. So Ray has no grey. It's just black and white.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Cam,
he is Michael Jackson's music video.
Cam, are you sticking with Bandana as your
all day long, man?
And then Ray sticking with Metropolitan. So I guess it's down to me then.
It is.
I'm the little finger to your Sansa and John Stark.
What barometer? Like, what's your? How are you even going to figure this out? Like, what is it? Replay value?
Yeah.
Is it lyrics? Is it stuff you're going to think is going to age the best? I mean, what do you think?
I've got to put it down to this, right? I think that Bandana is a better album in some ways, but Retropolitan is such easy listening. It's such enjoy. I know I can put on Glorious and get in a great mood straight away. Yeah. Whereas Bandana's more of like a slow burner where I can just put it on and really love it, the whole album. And like, I don't know. That's a really hard one. Am I going to go with it? I've bumped Retropolitan more than I've bumped Bandana. So guess.
Ooh,
yeah.
I hold
the proof is in the pudding. That's it, isn't it?
And it's the end. It's the end of the year. Like it might be that by the end of in another month or two, like I go off Retropolitan a little bit. But I've argued with Ray all year constantly, and being it is the season of goodwill. And
no longer.
I'm gonna extend an olive branch to my slightly on the spectrum friend. And say Retropolitan was the best album of the year. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ray, for
Ray wins.
Getting something out of what I would say pity and sympathy. You kind of won that. So well done on winning that.
It's not though, is it?
Take that home with you.
You just got to listen to that track.
To be fair,
the thing is, if you were going to put the best track on Metropolitan, Glorious, versus the best track on the most standout track on Bandana, I couldn't even tell you which one it is. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's some great tracks on it, but it's not like there's no like fuck. I really feel like listening to. I'm basically just repeating what Jumbo said.
Remember, Ray's always
stop reviewing. Stop reviewing. Please
You've got to stop reviewing.
We've been reviewing for months. Please stop reviewing.
Got it. Yeah.
And you've also done an actual review of Bandana. You don't need to keep doing
Exactly.
this. We know you don't like it.
So what I think about Bandana.
Well, there we go.
Okay, no, fine.
He keeps reviewing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
so
I'm locked
there we
in
go.
a constant loop where I just have to hear the same arguments over and over again. Okay, sorry, Cam, keep going. Keep going.
No, man, no. It's all good. Well, there we go. That's an aggregate score. I wholly disagree with it, but it is what it is. You can't argue with maths, apparently.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Are you going to be
There you
posting
go.
the scores spreadsheet on the Instagram?
God, no, because it's absolute bullshit. Because Slow Tie's definitely second
No
best.
one's into spreadsheets? No, brilliant.
No, not into spreadsheets. Sorry, man. They don't get the interactions. Now, can we have a little bit of fun then? We've done our albums. We've all been figured out. 2019 was a good year. Good year for hip hop. I know a lot of people may say different, but I think it was a good year for hip hop. The fact that us three different tastes all enjoyed them, fair play. Let's talk about honourable mentions, lads. Albums we may want to bring and we didn't get to mention them. Have any of you got any at hand that you thought, I need to give them a mention on the podcast?
Yeah, are we doing tracks as well or just albums?
I'm gonna do
Start with
bangers.
albums,
I'm gonna do bangers, but I would like to hear just complete projects, like an album, album
Yeah,
or two,
okay.
or however many.
So for me, it's All My Heroes Are Cornballs by JPEGMAFIA, who does production on the Danny Brown album. Yeah, it's fucking great. Like, I almost wanted to, like, last month message you to say, let's take one of these albums out and swap it with that album. Because it's a great album. I love it. Very varied, like, experimental sound, but some brilliant commercial, beautiful, like, melodies and interesting raps and stuff like that. And I knew fucking Ray would really hate it. And I was thinking, if I could get that and IGOR into Ray's playlist at the gym, these fingers would be sweating fucking buckets.
He's sweaty fingered Ray rap Bexatir. Love it. Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, JPEG. I mean, yeah, I listened to it once and it was hard to dive in. I would need to give it another listen. But yeah, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
his first album was, I just didn't really like it that much. Another artist where his second album, I'm like, this is sick. It's just great.
Yeah, I loved the first album. Thought the first album was wicked. Any others you got there? Raymond?
No, I've only got tracks other than that. Oh no, actually,
Okay.
I did quite like what are they called? Beast Coast. I was having a really ignorant moment in my summer, enjoying a bit of Beast Coast. Pretty like derivative kind of. It's basically like New York boom bap with like a sort of melodious trap influence to it. It was quite enjoyable.
I know you mentioned that at the time. It might do. Don't know. You might enjoy it. There's some hard stuff on there.
I like the fact that now automatically, I always, when I'm talking about an album, I always think about whether Ray would hate it. That's become my criteria for a good album. I don't even realize I've programmed myself to be that.
Brilliant. Ray, honourable mentions. What you got, man? I think some of them are going to be the same as mine.
Quite a few of them actually. So Murs, the Iliad is dead and Odyssey is over. That was came in a close second for the three that I brought up. I enjoyed that. To be honest, it gets a bit preachy after a while, but yeah, no, the album is still pretty sick.
What's the one about unicorn pussy on there? What's that one called? That really got me, that track.
Yeah, unicorn pussy.
Unicorn pussy is quite a good track. What else you got?
And then Blue and Damu the Fudgemunk, Brandon Water. It's pretty sick as well. But I mean,
I still wake up wondering if I should have brought that instead of Eve.
Definitely,
Damu the Fudgemunk.
Definitely,
you should have. Yeah.
Grounded Hard, mate. I remember hearing that the first time and almost like you're so excited you're hearing something so 90s influenced but good. And Blue is spitting fucking fire. I just was I need to call Ray. I need to tell Ray now about this album now. But I ended up listening to the whole thing and then messaging you like, you need this in your life. So yeah.
But to be honest, there's two other albums that I thought I've been enjoying way more. So, I mean, since we started doing this and I didn't have a way of bringing them in. So the latest Czarface, the odds are against us.
Yeah.
It's sick. And I just think the more they do together, the better they sound.
And they do a lot. They do a lot together. They actually do. Like, they do bring a lot of stuff out, don't they?
Yeah, it just really works.
The problem with Frank, mate, that fucking track, there's verses on there. The verse on there, the first verse, is fucking sick. Absolutely sick. One of the best verses of the year, I would say, on The Problem with Frank. So yes, I agree that is a good.
And then
shout.
the gift that keeps on giving is the track on that album that I was Yeah, that's one that I keep coming back to. And then I was going to say Kel Chris Guns as well. Fucking, it's just ridiculous.
What an album.
Ridiculous album.
What an album.
Yeah.
What, mate, Kel Chris is just, like, is it Kel Chris, Quelle Chris? I don't know. But either way, he's fucking brilliant. Yeah, no.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but
Straight Shot, the track Straight Shot, which is, it's almost like Tyler would have, I don't know, have you heard it, Jambo? Have you heard Kelly? I think you'll enjoy that album. You should check that album out. Obamacare is really good. Guns, the fucking track Straight Shot, it's almost like a soul hip-hop track. It's like a 6-minute track. It's really different. It's just a really different vibe to the rest of the album. But it's possibly, again, one of my bangers of the year where I'm like, shit, I keep playing that all the time. So, but the album itself is very, very good. I think you'll enjoy that one, Jambo.
Okay, cool.
Any others you got there, Ray?
Not for albums. Got some tracks.
Okay. Albums for me, again, we all had big shortlists for like, out of the 3 we were going to bring. So these are basically those. I had Little Simz's new album. I fucking love that album. In a way, in a way that I think that's going to resonate more with me than Eve, looking back on it. Maxo Cream's fucking new album, it's just bangers. It's just, go on the Crate 808 bangers playlist, you'll hear a lot of Maxo Cream on there. Injury Reserve's new album, I thought they're always pushing it. I really enjoyed their new album. Benny the Butcher, Griselda, all that shit. Benny the Butcher's one is fucking great little EP. All the albums you boys bought, obviously. DaBaby is huge right now, but for a reason. Like, not Kirk, but the other one, DaBaby on DaBaby, I think it's that one. Just good album. It's like, yeah, this is kind of pop, hip-hop, but it works. Gunner, another one that's, again, kind of very slow, melodic atmosphere about the vibe situation.
Speed it up.
Skip it up. That's, yeah, exactly. I like Gunner. Why Being Called A, good, solid stuff. Little Brother, Dave, Malibu Ken that I talked about, I thought was great.
Can I just pause you? I just want to say, I know you like everything. Are we just going through every album that has been released this year?
Yeah, you're just going through the entire fucking list
I was building up to 2. I wanted to just really, like, those like on the fringes, like they were great albums, but over these last 10 days over Christmas time, 2 albums, man, that have just fully clicked for me is Roc Marciano's Marcielago and Hidden Places by Billy Woods and Kenny Segal. Fucking hell, like, they've been hyped to fuck, but I've listened to that Billy Woods album.
Yeah, I've listened to that Billy Woods as well, yeah.
Right, so mate, right, I'm so glad you listened to it. So I listened to it 3 times, didn't like it. First 3 times, I was like, I really do not get what this is. I don't get why people are loving this so much. It sounds like just, I don't know, like a bit like Doomy, a bit like Car, a bit like Roc Marciano influenced. But then something clicked over Christmas where I was like, oh, I get it now. And it's his humour, it's his dark fucking humour he's got. It's the beats are just like this weird world. The album cover's wicked. Yeah, man, that is a good album.
But and it's intelligent rap as well. It's like, do you know what I mean? There's no it goes like just stories and just you know it's a
good fucking year for hip hop, man. People are bringing that out. And Roc Marcielago might be the most accessible album he's done. He's done a lot of fucking albums. I was saying before his podcast to Jambo,
you said he was better than Jay-Z and he was most influential man of the last 10 years.
I would say in hip hop, because hip hop obviously is branches so big
you
now.
Said in the whole world.
I would say in the 2010s, you can make an argument that Roc Marciano is one of the most influential hip hop artists because he started in 2010 and consistently did it and spit bars and so much output. Jay-Z doesn't have that consistency. Jay-Z's albums are bigger, they're more polished, they're bigger themes. His themes are very much what they are: underground hip-hop, cocaine rap, fucking hard bars, punchlines, but he does it well and keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And Marcielago, the samples on it alone are great. And just some of the verses, him and Car, with the way I can't believe they're on a track together. I was like, yeah, obviously they're on a track together. It just works. They are the same person in a way, except Car's got better bars, I would say. But Roc, yeah, man, Marcielago, got to put it up there.
You're going to have Roc Marciano on the podcast, is that's why you're being so nice to him?
Mate, it would be a fucking dream. It's been a dream already to have who I've had on, but like, who we've had on, sorry.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream that we get Roc Marciano.
I prefer to read Word Up magazine than listen to Roc Marciano.
Yeah, same. I'm just overrated. But what does it matter for someone to be influential? It's just...
Oh, God, let's not get into this.
I give a shit.
No, okay, either way.
I'm adding that to my bingo.
I'm not doing it. That's mine. Yeah, that's mine. You can't take that from me. That's mine. Favourite bangers of the year. Before we even go into this, Crate 808 Bangers playlist is out there. Go out there, check it out. It's on the website, crate808.com. But you boys, what are your favourite bangers of the year?
So basically, there's definitely a jazz influence to a lot of the tracks that I like this year. So there's like Distracted by YL. That's like a great jazz rap beat. This is the weird like title. NXGN 0360 Freestyle Interlude by Joe. I know it's a totally ridiculous, but it's by Joe Aste. That's got like a great sort of 90s, sort of smoky hip hop beat. Lansky Jones. Did you hear the Mr. Motherfucking Esquire verse on the Lansky Jones track, Know the Type?
No, I missed it. He's back, is he?
Yeah,
Esquire?
And he has a fucking amazing verse on Know the Type. I'll send you a link to it. You'll love it. I think Ray will like it as well. And then more off of the Flying Lotus album, the one with Anderson .Paak. I really like that song, but it's not kind of hip hop, not really super hip hop. But
that's a good album though. Yeah. I enjoyed that Flying Lotus.
And then Coast Clear by Beast Coast is sick.
Okay, like the bangers. Check them out, people. Raymond, what you got?
It's a track that I can't. I've ripped it out of Griselda the whole fucking year, basically. But the Conway the Machine, half of it, that's just a sick track. It's so good.
That is sick.
Some of it, it's just all of it.
Can you do the machine gun noise?
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom.
There he is. We got Ray Ridge. We got Ray Ridge doing West Side Gun ad-libs on the fucking... I knew it. It just took time to break him, but he's doing fucking West Side Gun ad-libs.
It's just broken eventually, yeah. But
he's fucking great. Embrace him. He's great.
Yayo with Pharaoh. That was that's a ridiculous track.
Yeah,
I keep coming back to.
Yeah.
And then Just Like That by David Bars. There's a
David Bars. David Bars is the stupidest name I've heard in ages. David Bars.
It's David Bars, yeah. It's interesting.
I love it. It's
that
a
name.
big track.
Okay.
And the thing with it, the thing with that as well, so I'd never heard him before, and he's recommended by a little-known rapper by the name of Apathy from the Demigods. Come full circle.
Which is fitting considering I've got the Crate 808 bingo list here and that's definitely on it.
Okay. Crate 808 bingo list. Yeah. Pray tell me, Jambo. Pray tell.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's go.
It's basically when I listen back to the podcast, I make notes of things we always bring up. It's like when Rogan says, bring that up, Jamie. Just constant things that are always mentioned. So this is my list. So it goes, Ray says head nodability loads. If you drink whenever Ray says head nodability, drink whenever Cam says Cam interrupts one of us. Drink when he does that. Obviously, you'd be hammered within minutes at the podcast. Drink when Ray is noticeably raging in the background. That's drink when I say like, because fucking hell, I say like way too much.
Like a lot, yeah.
Drink when Cam says people on Twitter are saying, and then drink when Ray gets angry about Twitter and talks about how all people are stupid. That's a common theme.
What a year.
Yeah, drink when I bring up a stupid metaphor and Ray gets angry. Drink when Cam, a man who knows a shit ton about music, when he actually pronounces the word music, that he can't actually pronounce music even though he knows so much about it.
That is out of order. That's how you say it. Music.
Drink when Ray says demigods. Drink when in an interview Cam mentions that he's from a little village up north in England.
I can't cut that out. It's part of the thing. It's part of telling them.
Every single interview he's there.
Yeah.
Drink when Ray is only caring about lyrics. Drink when I'm not caring about lyrics. Drink when Cam pronounces Kanye. And
now say Kanye.
And then finally drink when Ray and Cam argue about the term influential.
That's a strong list and cannot deny any of those things. All those things are bang on. So out there, people, there you go. There's your drinking game sorted. Who drinks while listening to us? Fucking hell, lad, switch us off.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen to true. Listen to some actual beats. Listen to these beats, my favourite bangers.
Okay,
ties in well.
Let's hear these bangers.
Do it. It's going to be a very long list. I might have a nap now. Come on.
It is a long list.
Every single song released this year.
It is a long list. It is a long list. But I'm going to give you a few choice cuts. God Help Me on To See Detroit. There you go, Jambo. Black Milk on there. Fucking hell. And mate, that track just fucking gets me every time. Savage Nomad on Danny Brown. Crowns for Kings, 18-wheeler. On Benny Butcher's thing, fucking Black Thought, Yes Please, all day long. Straight Shot we talked about. Kano brought an album out this year and it's fucking infectious, man. Pan Fried is an infectious track I never thought I'd like as much as I do now. Like shower music, I'm just singing along to that. Jailbreak the Tesla by Injury Reserve. Absolute banger. Drizzy Draco by Maxo Cream, and then and Blood of the Fang by Clippin', and then Forever by Tory Lanez, the most commercial rap artist, R&B artist going. But there's something about Forever, when I hear that, it's like it's ride or die with your mates. It's just like a proper bromance hip hop track. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm here for mates. I'm here for mates and hip hop. That's what I'm saying. So those are my bangers of the years, lads. The one track that I got a lot of shit for was East by Earl Sweatshirt. I thought it was a hypnotic, fucking strange, odd track. And then people on Twitter...
People on Twitter.
There we go. People on Twitter were fucking absolutely savagely ripping it apart. And I was like, that's actually quite a good track, isn't it?
It's a meme. I've noticed people saying about that track that, saying it's the greatest track of all time, and I think it really upsets people when it's a meme.
Wait a sec. So wait. I was just looking at trying to find that Tory Lanez track to see what the fuck you're talking about. Wait, which one are you talking about now?
Forever. Oh, this what we're talking about now. Oh, East by Earl Sweatshirt.
East by Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah. It's odd. It's a very odd track. I
know
you're going to hate it.
I like it. I think you're right. It's quite dreamy. But yeah, there's a meme where people overhype it, and then all people get angry about it, I think.
There we go. Essentially Twitter. Wicked. Well, there we go. End of 2019 podcast episodes. Done, lads. Well done.
I just checked it. And East by Earl Sweatshirt, I don't like it. Carry on.
It's like
I love how long it takes.
Listen to 2 seconds and that's it. No.
Brain confused. Oh, God. The 2 seconds of East as well to listen to. You won't like it. But, lads, thank you, man. Thank you for bringing the flavour, bringing the fire. 3 episodes. Hope you guys out there enjoyed it. We'll be doing more interviews with guests coming up soon. We're going to have a few more debates. We're going to hopefully do a few collabs with other podcasts out there. Big up all yourselves. Notorious POD, Shotgun the Orcs, Killer Keller, Dad Bod, Rat Pod. I always mention all you guys. Rhymes Like Dimes. You know who you all are anyway. Shotgun the Orcs. But if we're going to talk about going into the new year, great to have some correspondence. Go on to crate808.com. Got all our stuff on there. Email us, crate808@gmail.com. And just tell us what you want to hear. If you've got options that you think we want to hear this, we want to hear that, man, jump on. Email us, tweet us, Instagram us. And yeah, we out here, man. We're doing our thing. That's another one. We out here. That's another little thing for your bingo thing. I do like saying that. Yeah, we out here.
We out here and yo.
And fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for 2020. I think we're going to smash it, lads. I think we're going to smash it.
Yeah.
Who's the guest? Who's the guest you guys want on more than anything this year?
Tyler.
Fuck.
Dre. Oh, M. No, M.
M before Dre?
Yeah, 100%.
You're an idiot. Absolute raging lunatic. Dr. Dre.
Once you M, that's it. We're done.
No, it's Dr. Dre, mate. You need to learn a lesson. I can't believe that. I love Eminem, but Dr. Dre's the boy.
Maybe get a little pump on, maybe.
Come on, mate. Behave. Anyway, to the next time. We shall see you all later. Ray, thank you for coming on, man.
No worries. See you later. I got to walk the dog, so I got to pick up what he's putting down. So that's what I'll be doing. See you later.
Jambo,
thanks
catch you on the flip side, mate.
Happy 2020.
Happy 2020. And all to you folks, yeah, live life, man. Live it large. That's what I'm saying. 2020, let's go. Boom.